In this video series, I'll hold your hand through every single step to get your first local business paying you hundreds of dollars per month. I'll give you the exact systems that I built out for my own marketing company that bring me in over 6 figures per year in profit so that you can copy and paste this to your city and to your niche so that you can grow as fast as you possibly can. These systems help local businesses make more revenue by using 2 simple marketing methods that I've already basically built out for you. The first one is SMS marketing, and the second one is Google SEO. Now, most business owners hear about the word marketing, they think, oh yeah, social media. We have someone that posts on our Instagram for us, but in reality, they're just wasting their money and they're not really bringing in much more profit at all. Instead, my setup will automatically text past clients of a business to get them to either follow up for a return, send them a promotional offer for any Black Friday deals or whatever they have going on, and just to get them back in schedule without spending a single dollar on ads. So many businesses have a gold mine of past clients. They could literally phone them up one by one, but that would take forever, so they just never do. Instead, we can automate a text blast to all of them, and every time a client goes without 60 days without coming into that business, we can text them to remind them to come back in, and that would just reactivate their entire database of past clients to come right back in the store and bring in some more profit right away. My system will also text people that just visited this business asking for a Google review in a way that sounds like it's a real human being, so people actually do respond. Unlike the text that you get after you leave your dentist office that sound like it's coming from a robot, which nobody answers. And when people do start leaving more 5-star Google reviews, my system will automatically use AI to respond to that review on Google itself. Now, this will show Google that they should trust you more because you're getting a lot more consistent 5-star Google reviews, and you're also responding to them. So you're not only getting more clients, but you're engaging with them too. And that shows Google that you're probably a really good business. They should rank you up a bit higher against the competition in that city, which brings you in more organic traffic, leads, and phone calls every single day without spending a dollar on Google Ads. And what that means for you is that if you're getting your clients more reviews and more business every single month, they don't mind paying you every month, and they have no reason to ever cancel because they see a tangible result. They're ranking higher, they're getting more testimonials, and they're making more profit as a result of these AI systems that we have built out for free. I'll even teach you how to set up extra features that reply back to calls when a business is closed with a text message so that the lead doesn't feel like they have to call a different business because their situation is going to get taken care of over text. Believe it or not, a lot of businesses only have a landline phone and they never know what's going on when they leave that office. Some of my clients actually went from the second page of Google to the #1 ranked spot in the entire city, and they're making at least $4,000 to $6,000 more in profit as a result. And they're spending nothing on ads, billboards, magazines, nothing at all. Just being the #1 ranked spot on Google is like having a billboard infinitely. And the best part about this is that once you set this up one time, the systems that I created for you will just run automatically. So you likely have to do little to no work at all once your client actually gets signed up. This means that you can scale to get hundreds of clients paying you $500 per month, but you will have to mentally prepare. Keeping your clients is the easy part, but getting them isn't. And so I'll teach you everything that I've learned so that you can actually get there faster than learning all of this by yourself, kind of like how I did. But you will still have to actually put in time to start doing outreach and actually close the sale. So in the upcoming videos, just lock in, take notes, and follow along with me, and I will teach you everything that I know to get your first client and beyond. Let's go. This is the video where you're gonna have to actually put me up on a second tab and start following along with me. I'll show you exactly how I use high level to set up and deliver the marketing offer that we talked about in the last video, how to make a Stripe account and start accepting automated payments so that you can get paid every month from your clients. And we'll even talk about third-party tools that automate bringing your clients' clients into your high level account so that you can automatically text them, whether it's for a recall campaign or for more Google reviews, and it's just a lot more easy on you. I'll even give you a free website so that you can host for yourself and show your clients that you're actually a legit marketing company. And it looks pretty cool just to get your branding set up on day one. So let's do it. Just one tip before we start. Don't take too long on this video. Learn the basics and keep on moving right when you feel comfortable. High Level is likely the most complex and powerful marketing software in the entire world. But that doesn't mean that you have to learn all of it to get your first client. I'll teach you the bare necessities, only what you need to get your first client and actually deliver so you can actually make progress and start growing while you're on the free trial. So you never actually have to invest money up front. And you can always learn everything else later down the line, next month, the next year if you want to. It's not even really necessary to ever learn the rest of it. But just take your time with that And right now I'll teach you the bare necessities that you need. So don't take too long clicking every single button and asking every single question. Learn the basics, deliver, and keep on moving forward. Now, to make this really easy for you, instead of building everything out inside of high level step by step, I give you a full snapshot that I basically did all the work for you. You just have to plug and play and start rolling. And so to get that snapshot and the link to my Discord server and any other benefits that I offer, sign up to High Level down below. There's a free 30-day trial. So you literally have a month to land your first client. And make sure that when you do sign up, you don't use any cookie blockers, any ad blockers. Honestly, just turn off all extensions to make sure that it actually works for you. Then you can go ahead and turn it on back after, because what typically happens is that when you sign up and there's a bunch of ad blockers on, it blocks the link from being able to track you to me, and I can't automatically send you the snapshot link. And so just take care of that. And once you get the link either sent to you via text message or to your email from the email ending in mail.iamlucid.com, check your spam folder. It might even end up there. You will get a link to my snapshot. Now press on that link and it will look something just like this. Once you're logged into your High Level account, of course, make sure you log in first, then press on that link and you will see this pop up right here. Do you want to import this snapshot into this account? Just press yes, import now. So once you're here and the snapshot has been imported, you'll see basically two views to High Level. There's the sub account, which is where you actually go into your client's account and start delivering for them. And then there's the agency view, which is more of like a top-down overview, like bird's eye point of view. You actually just want to make sure that your snapshot is set up by going to account snapshots. Make sure that you have Lucid Snapshot, either V2, V3, wherever we're at in the future. And then you press on a create new account, this little plus button right over here. So press on that. And then you can choose any business. If you're just testing this out for yourself or using your own name as your own business, you can just press on add manually, fill in all of this information over here, and then press on add sub account. Now, once you added your sub account, press over here on the top left to switch into your sub account. So you press this button, then you go to your sub account. So now we're actually logged into the sub account view of High Level. This is what your client will see when they log in and how you actually deliver the benefits for them. And so once you get into this sub account, you'll see a bunch of settings. The first step is to not be overwhelmed. There's a lot to the software, just follow what I'm saying in this video. Now, what you should automatically see using my snapshot is when you go over to automation over here. So press on automation, you will see a few different options. Press on Lucid Workflow, and you have these options right over here, and I'll continually add more as time goes on and keep on giving you the updates. But what we're gonna be basically focusing on is the marketing folder in this video. So press on marketing, and then you have a few different things that you can offer to your clients right away. And this one is called a reactivation campaign or a recall campaign. I like to call it that. You basically open this one up and it's a workflow. So it's basically a step-by-step automation that I've already built out for you entirely that will allow you to bring your clients into High Level and then start texting all of their past clients automatically to get them to come back for an offer or some sort of sale, Black Friday deal, just to get them back in the business and back in the booking schedule so they can immediately start seeing more revenue as a result of hiring you right away. This is the simple, fastest thing to sell and see profit as a result ever. One of my clients made over $6,000 as a result of this because they had a few thousand people in their back catalog of clients. And so we just imported all those people into this workflow. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. We just brought them into this workflow. It texted them every single day, little by little, and we got them more clients. So this is exactly how it would work. First, we have a drip, okay? I'm gonna teach you step by step what these are. Drip basically means how many per time. So I do 50 per day. You can customize it based on how many people you guys want to text per day. So 50 per day is a pretty good number. And then you go to a wait step. Now this basically waits so that you're only texting them on Monday to Friday, 9 to 6:30 p.m. And then it drips 1 per minute during those hours. And so it's pretty simple so far. You just have a couple of drips and wait steps. That's all it is. And then you have the actual text. And so this is what a text would probably look like. You can customize this for whatever business you're working for, any niche, anything you want to get into. And so for instance, I haven't seen you in a while. As a welcome back, we're giving you 25% off your next visit. Reply to this text or call us to book. Offer valid for 2 weeks. And so what I basically did there was made a recall text that we can send to every single client of basically any business ever, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a gym, whether it's a spa, anything. This should bring in more clients automatically. And so typically people do like emails and stuff, which emails is still really good, but nothing works like a text message. Nothing gets the same open rate and response rate and respect as a text coming straight to your cell phone. So emails usually get marked as spam. This is the way to go. And so this is the text. You can change it. What I basically did here was, this is a limited time offer, which drives more of a call to action. It basically makes them act urgently. And then as a welcome back, which is explaining why we're giving a discount, so that they feel like, okay, I'm getting a discount. It's valid for 2 weeks. All I have to do is just text back or call them to book, and it's really simple, right? So keep it in the same sort of structure, give it to GPT if you want, and then make it work for any business that you want to go into. Now, before we start, you might want to choose a niche to actually break into. And so I'll give you a long list. Basically, any type of business works as long as it's a service-based local business that has a long list of backlogged clients. And so I'll give you a long list right now. You basically have car detailing, landscaping, home cleaning, roofing, HVAC, auto repair, oil changes, tire shops, hair salons, barber salons, day spas, nail salons, massage businesses, local gyms, martial art studios, restaurants, and pet groomers. There's probably so many more, but if any of these ring a bell for you, like you have a friend or family or cousin that works in any of these fields, then you can get started on that one right away. Or if you know more about any of these, just choose that one so you have more knowledge in that field. You could honestly sell to any and all of these all at once, but it's best to choose a niche so that you know the exact and specific struggles that they face, so it becomes easier to show other businesses and competitors, we've worked with that company down the street. They do the same exact thing as you guys and we solved it for them. So that's the kind of framework that you want to have your mind on. Choose any niche and then we can move forward. So that's the full recall campaign. You can customize changes however you like, but this is basically what drives in traffic. The second that you get signed up with a new business, I'd start this right away. The next one is the Google review campaign, which is right above it. We'll press on this one right over here and we'll see a few more steps. And so basically the trigger is they get a tag added to their name, which I'll explain a little bit later. Then it waits until it's basically working hours or like appropriate hours to text somebody. It texts one person every minute. It puts them in a texted stage, which I'll explain a little bit later on. And then it sends this SMS right over here. And so basically the trick is to make the text sound as human being as possible. Don't use GPT. Don't ask any robot. Don't copy and paste anything online. Just think, how would you ask someone authentically for a Google review, and then just use that? Here's my example. For instance, this works really, really well. And so I would use something kind of like this. What we have over here is a trigger link. I'll show you how to set that up in just a second. So basically, our system will wait. Did they press on this Google review link? If they don't press on it in 7 days, it will text them again. But if they do press on it, or even if they respond to this text message, it won't text them again. So it'll be really smart in knowing who to text and who not to text. So that's called a trigger link. To make sure it works, you just highlight this, just press on trigger links right over here, press on Google review link. I'll show you how to actually make this take you to your client's Google review page in just a second. So press on that, and that should be the link right over there. Now, this wait step waits for the trigger link to be pressed. It waits 7 days, and then it will text them again. Now, if your client doesn't want this to happen and only wants it to be one text message, then you can basically just delete this follow-up text, just delete that action, then you're done. It basically texts them 1 day and then it's over. I typically recommend 2 text messages just because it's more effective, but some owners, are kind of like, I don't want to text my clients too many times. 1 time is just okay. And if they want it that way, then just make it only 1 text message. It waits 2 days after that, and then it chooses which stage to put them in. And so stages basically are on a different page of high level where you can add a quick view, see who you texted, who didn't respond, and then who responded. In 3 categories, 3 layers. It's super, super simple. It's basically already built out for you. So press on back to workflows. You press on opportunities over here, and then you go press on this button, you press on Google review campaigns. And so easily, this will start to auto-populate when you start texting people. So you'll see texted a long list of people, probably like hundreds or even thousands if they have a long list. And then these are people that actually clicked on the link. These are guys that you texted twice, and these are everyone that basically never pressed on the link at all. And so you can easily see who's responding and who's not responding. You don't have to really learn how this works. You can just kind of use my setup I already have built out for you, and that should be good enough. Then going back to automation, we'll see a little bit more. I want to stay in this area so we don't, lose focus. The next one is to auto-respond while closed. Now this one takes a little bit of setup. Basically, whenever a business owner gets a phone call or a text message or a missed call, they will be entered into this workflow automatically. And so I'll teach you everything about that later. But once they're in this workflow, the way that it'll work is like this. This is called an if-else condition. And so basically, if this, then that. So if it's a weekday before 9 a.m., which I basically created by having these 2 steps right over here. Current day of the week is weekday. Time of day is before 9 a.m., which is like most businesses 9 to 5. You can always, customize this however you'd like. Or if it's a weekday after 5 p.m., current day of the week is weekday, time of day is on or after 5 p.m. Or if it's a weekend, right? So you can customize this any way you want. You can also make, if they have really complicated schedules, you can change this to match their actual business hours. You can just press on this, duplicate branch, and you can add more of these. And so let's say I want to make it, if it's a Monday, they close on Monday at, I'd say, like 7 p.m. If it's really late, press on save and it adds a whole new category or basically a whole new row. I won't do it just to keep this video simple, but just play with this and you should get the hang of it within a few minutes. Then you'll have these rows right over here, right? These columns, I should say. Now, if it's a weekday before 9 a.m., it'll respond to their call or to their text message automatically saying, hey, thanks for reaching out to business name. We're actually closed right now, but feel free to respond to this text with your question and we'll get back to you right when we're open. Now, what this does is it tells the lead that just called into the hair salon or barbershop or restaurant, okay, you're closed right now. Instead of calling the next business down the line, I'll just text you guys what I wanted and I'll get back to my day. This way I'm not going to call other businesses and take my business elsewhere, and they can basically recover lost revenue that they're not getting because they're letting all their missed calls go to voicemail. So this text automatically does something called lead capturing. Use that when you're selling. It basically explains it a little bit better, but we basically capture leads even when you're closed. The owners of the business can respond to these texts really easily on the phone app, which I'll get into in just a little bit. Now I keep this right here where it says none. And then if it's another if-else condition, we have it set so that if it's a missed call during working hours, which would basically take it on this route over here, then it responds something like this. Hi, it's the staff from business name. We just missed your call. How can we help? Then that will start the conversation doing something called missed call text back. And so whenever their staff is busy, if they're not answering every single phone call, this could help solve that and keep more business coming into their business and not going somewhere else also. These are automations that are just like plug and play. Once it's set up one time, it runs automatically every single day for you. Now let's exit that workflow. Here we have marketing. So we go to trigger links on marketing, and then we'll basically get the Google review link of our client. Press on edit and we'll just paste that Google review link right over here. And then that will basically make all the trigger links that use this right here, like I showed you last time. It'll basically make that trigger link be a custom link that is trackable. And so it's a custom link for each person. And basically our system will use that to know, did they press on this link or did they avoid pressing on this link? And then we can make follow-ups and adjustments based on that. You could also just avoid this entirely and put the link right in the text message, but this is what I typically do just to be able to track who's clicking and who's not clicking. Now, how do we actually bring people, so our clients' clients, into high level so that we can text them automatically? It's super simple. You have to go over to contacts right over here and then press on this button that says import. So bulk import, and then you'll press on next, and then you'll just drag and drop a CSV file, it has to be in that format, from your client's booking software that you can easily get by just logging in or just having them send it over to you. It will basically be pulling in every single first name, last name, email, phone number of all their clients into high level so that you can put them into any of these workflows that we have created for you. As an example, I just placed in a CSV file that I created, and we'll see the following. So mapping each field would look kind of like this. You just map the first name column to the first name field over here. You basically only need like a first name and a phone number. Everything else is not really that necessary. So just map the fields, really, really simple, and then press on next. Then you can add imported contacts to a workflow by pressing this right over here and then going to any of the workflows that we have. They have to be published, by the way. So if we go to automation, Lucid workflows, marketing, and then we just publish any of these as long as they're ready to go and everything looks good. Then we can go to publish a workflow. And then that's now active. And it should start showing up over here for us to press on that workflow and then bring all the contacts right into it. Or we can add a tag to a contact. So you press on this and you just choose any tag, like for instance, Google review campaign. Now I have it set so that whenever you add this tag to your contact, it will automatically pull them into the Google review workflow because that's the trigger for it, right? So this is the workflow right over here. The trigger will say tag added Google review campaign. And so that would be basically the same exact thing as pulling them right into the workflow, either via trigger or via a imported contacts to a workflow. I do recommend testing out each workflow before you actually publish it and start using it. So you can just press on test workflow, add yourself as a contact by going back to the contacts page and adding yourself manually. And then you just press on run test. And so you can put your number in there, press on run test, and it will add you in as if you just dropped in right there. And it'll add you in through all of these. And so basically you can just press on your name and then make sure that you're getting pushed through all of these. If for whatever reason there's like a drip mode or you're waiting too long, you can just press on enrollment history or execution logs, either or, and you can press on force contact to the next step. It should be in this tab actually, force contact to next step, and that will get you pushed through any wait steps so you can actually test it out on your own phone number. You also have the settings page in any workflow over here. You can basically turn on allow re-entry or turn off if you want them to just do it one time only ever. So it's up to you. And then you can also do stop on response, basically kicks them out once they text back, and then specific time windows, which I really do recommend. So basically no texts will happen during these hours or outside of these hours. So this time would be, let's say, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. on weekdays, for instance. Now, since we're here to actually test out these workflows, there's going to be a little option that says from number. You can actually choose which number responds to these workflows for you. And to buy a phone number, it costs $1 per month. So just use it just to make sure it works. So to get a number, you press on back to workflows, bottom left, press on settings. Then you press on phone system over here, and you'll see phone numbers. And so press on add phone number. You can choose any number you want, any area code. You can also press on filter by first part of number and choose any area code that you have for your city. For instance, mine is 313. You can just press on this and then you'll press on proceed to buy. It might ask you to verify your ID because that's how it does when it's like actually buying or selling phone numbers. So just press on begin verifying. I press on US and then driver's license, and I will scan that and be right back. Now the phone number is complete. This is our number that we could actually use for the business. And so you're probably thinking, the business already has a phone number. How does this all work? And so we're gonna at least get a number that looks really clean and really simple. And then we're gonna forward all the calls that come to this new number back to the old business number that they have. So basically, wherever we put this new number, anywhere online, Instagram, Google, Facebook, wherever, if someone calls it, the call gets routed back to the original business line. And so nothing actually changes on their end, but now they can start receiving text messages because they have a new VoIP number that we just got them, right? And so we can do that by pressing on these three dots over here, edit configuration. I usually turn that off, and then I just put forward calls to, this is their current business line. So put their current business number right over here in the forward calls to section, and then you should be good to go. That's where the calls will all get forwarded to. Now, there is a process called A2P10DLC registration. So if you live in the USA or Canada, you have to go through this a little bit annoying process to actually get your number to work. If it's a business line, basically some new laws came out where there's almost no real way around this, where you have to get A2P verified, meaning you have to be an actual business. You have to submit your business EIN number and have a business website, which I basically show you how to, speed run the entire process so you can actually make a line start working immediately. This number will work for phone calls, but it just can't send out any text yet. And so the video might be in the cards above or the description down below to get A2P verified. It's like a full step-by-step breakdown. Takes about 20 to 30 minutes to get everything set up from A to Z, and then you will actually be good to go and this number will really start working for you. In other countries, like in the UK, for example, it's pretty easy. You just have to go to regulatory bundles, or I'll basically walk you through how to do it. And then you just create a bundle. You basically put your business information in, you press done, and then you're pretty much done. Like there's no entirely long process like how we have it here in America, but it's a thing that you just have to kind of get through. Don't let A2P block you from making money or from building a business. It's an annoying process, but just learn how to get through it one time and it becomes really easy after that. My video speedruns the entire process. If you want to avoid the A2P process entirely, there is a solution. And so if you have a country that basically doesn't have an available phone number in this area, so your country is none of these countries that we have here, there is still hope. And so there's a software called My CRM Sim where you can basically plug in a real cell phone, like an iPhone with iMessage. You can literally put iMessage in high level. It's actually sick. Or RCS for an Android phone, or basically any phone you got, or even an actual WhatsApp number plugged right into high level, and the software is called My CRM Sim. I'd say this is a good backup. I'd still recommend is going the A2P route, but if you have to avoid it entirely or your country isn't really supported at all, then My CRM Sim, there's a link down below for that, which is an affiliate link that will support me in the channel. But basically that allows you to plug in an actual phone into high level. And the benefit of this also is that if the company doesn't want to change their number anywhere and they already have a cell phone, then you can use My CRM Sim to just plug that right into high level and everything stays the exact same. But again, for the vast majority of people, for myself included, I always recommend just doing A2P, just getting it done. It's annoying, it's a long process, just freaking do it. You got this. So now that we have a phone number, we can go back to settings on the workflow and then make sure that our phone number is showing up right over here. Press on save. And then since this isn't really A2P set up just yet, I didn't go through the whole process yet, we can still test this to make sure that it actually does work. And so to do this, all you would do is just set up that phone number in the settings, and then you can do one of two things. One, you can just press test workflow, put your own phone number, and you will see that when it's time, the SMS it will attempt to be sent to your personal number, but it'll have like a red exclamation mark saying this text could not be sent. And you will see that in the conversations view of high level right over here, once that does show up. The second thing that you can do is also do any of these other workflows that we basically have. For instance, if you have a workflow that auto responds while closed, you can just automate this or press on publish to actually turn it on. And if a text should be sent out, if you basically call that number or you text that number and it's out of business hours or the call is missed, then it should try to send any of these responses to you to make sure that it works. But of course, the text won't actually reach your phone. It will just say it had an error inside of the high level conversations tab. And then you can just see what would have gone out if you were A2P setup. And so that's just a good way to test out, make sure that everything's working on your end. So your clients would actually see all the calls and text messages on the high level app they get from the App Store. So Google Play Store, Apple App Store, they can look up two different applications. So the first one is high level. It basically exposes that you're using the high level software to do all these automations. And the second one is Lead Connector. That's basically a gray label app name that doesn't expose that you're using high level as the marketing software. Either choice works, it's up to you. And the third application is basically your own white labeled mobile application. That's what I use. I literally have my own application on the App Store and Google Play Store. So my clients think that everything's going through me in my company and it looks really clean and professional. It is pretty expensive, but in my case, it's worth it. I'd say recommend doing that like way later on. It's always a good option to have though. By the way, the phone application itself is a really good selling point because business owners that typically just have a landline phone at their business, which almost all of them do, can't really see if their calls are being answered or if they're getting back to people or if they're even answering text messages. They can't see any of that. They're basically left in the dark throughout the entire process. And so once they have this application on their phone, they can see if calls are coming in, who's calling and who's answering the calls and who's getting back to every single lead. And so they can keep basically a good view over their entire business just off of the app, which a lot of them love to hear. So high level also does have a cost per text associated with using their number. And so it's really not expensive at all. You can send a lot of text and it might come out to like 10 or 15 bucks per month. So the only fees are going to be the A2P fees, which come out to about, I'd say $25 just to submit the application and get it approved. And then $11.25 per month. And so that's basically all you'll pay for the A2P number. And the cost per text message is for an outbound SMS, that's $0.0083. So this is the exact price you would pay for sending an SMS and receiving an SMS per segment. So a segment is 160 characters. The longer the text, the more it'll be. So to start like multiplying. So you can send a lot of text messages for this price and it might come out to maybe like 15 bucks per month maximum. So I just double checked it. You can send 1,807 text message segments for $15. And so it's not expensive at all. Now we know how to get Google reviews and how to get customers to come back, but how do we respond to those reviews on Google using AI? And so High Level also does this for you. Their software is freaking crazy. First, go over to settings on the bottom left and then go down to integrations. From here, you just have to sign into a Google account that is either an owner or a manager of the Google business profile that we're working with. And so basically you can request management position, which I always recommend doing so you can customize, update, and fix things for them. Then log into your own Google account and plug it in right over here. Or you can have them log into their own Google account and log into their business right over here. And so once that's all set up and their Google business profile is fully integrated into High Level, then you would just go back and press on reputation. And then you'll see reviews right over here. And then you can automatically start responding to them by going to settings. And then we'll see, for instance, auto response is turned on. You can have suggestive or off, but turn on auto response. And then you can have this pop up right over here. And so you can customize this prompt exactly how you want it. What I find is putting in this word right here saying, don't use the word "we are thrilled" in your response. I find if you see it making any mistakes or at least, saying things that are too AI sounding, then you can just put it in the prompt saying, don't use this word, don't use M dashes, don't use thrilled. AI loves to use that word for some reason. And you can also set the tone of the agent. So I like to put professional and grateful. And you can have it respond to all reviews or only 5-star. I usually recommend letting your clients deal with a 3-star and under, and you can respond to 4-star and up. That's what I typically do. So go to 4 stars and above. And then you can also have it respond to Facebook reviews too. And so you can have it respond to basically everything, Google, whatever you'd like. And I would keep this empty and press on save. What I normally do is just to make it feel a little bit more realistic, I'll put minutes right over here. So the wait time before responding. And I usually put about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can put, let's say 13 minutes. And then that will automatically wait 13 minutes, use AI to respond. So the person that just left this 5-star Google review will feel like you actually went in there and then made a fully thoughtful response based on their review. And as a bonus tip, I also made a new workflow that if you go to MISC in the workflow settings right over here, you press on Google Review Notify, right? This one right over here will basically get the notification that someone has left a Google review. If it's 3 stars and up, or if it's 4 stars and up, it'll basically tell your client, you got a new Google review, congratulations, tell them exactly what they got using this email right over here, this little template that I made for you guys. And then if it's a negative Google review, meaning that it's 3 stars and under, it'll text your client and it'll also text you by you just adding your name into CC over here. So add your own email here. And then it'll also email you and your client saying, hey, we noticed that there was a negative Google review left on your business. We're already working to get it taken down. We'll update you once we see any more progress. And so this shows your clients that you're actively watching, making sure that their reputation is what really counts to you. You're taking care of bad reviews, you're getting them good reviews, and they want to see that instantly. And so if there's anything negative that happens, it happens sometimes where you get a 1-star review, not by asking for it, by the way. They almost never, I don't think that's ever happened to us ever, but if someone ever gets mad at the business for whatever reason, they leave them a 1-star or a 2-star review, then we would basically have the system automatically set up to notify you and them. And so to get Google reviews removed, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Before I show you that, go back over to the settings on the bottom left. On phone system, you want to make sure that you have messages right over here. This is what I typically change these to. So make SMS compliant by adding an opt-out message. If you watch the A2P video, I taught this over there. It's really important to just change this. What I do is reply by to end. It's the best way to do it because if you get a lot of people saying stop, you actually get banned by the carriers. And then I usually just change this to just a little dash and then sender ID. So that's the name of the actual business. It has to be in the text message. And that is what I typically do. There's also a bunch of laws on Texas about texting. And so I'd basically, just to be safe, turn this on so you don't do bulk SMS in Texas, unless you live in Texas, a different story. But basically, I talk about all of this in the A2P video, just to make sure that you follow everything and don't get banned or limited at any cost. As a side tip, you also have the option to go to marketing and then social planner. And once you have any social media and the Google Business Profile plugged in, you'll have the option to automatically post 5-star Google reviews on their social pages like Facebook or Instagram. It'll basically kind of just like screenshot that review, post it on their page once a month or once every other month if you'd like it to be that way. I think it looks a little bit redundant. I wouldn't do it myself. It looks a little bit like kind of basic, but you could do it for free if your client wants it, just to give them more value, and it takes basically no work on your end. Now, I promised you there was going to be a website built for you so that you can just copy onto your own company or marketing company's name and start using literally today. So to do that, you'd go over to sites, press on websites on the top left, and then marketing agency. So as time goes on, I'll start to update these with more and more sites for you so you can just copy them and they would look really cool. Also, High Level has a lot of really good website templates that you can just copy if you're on their higher plan, if you want to go on there. But if not, you can always use this one right over here. And basically, it would look something like this. You can customize all the text. It would be really, really simple to change all this stuff out. But this is like a generic marketing company website that I have created. This is fully, by the way, fully custom made. My designer actually made this for you. And so you can kind of just put your own company name on there and change all of these if you'd like. You put a chat widget on there as well. And all of this would be set up for you. So to get your own website, to make sure that you're a legit looking marketing company, when you go to sell this, you can leave like a little website link and all of that. It's super, super simple. On High Level, you go to the bottom left, press on sites. And by the way, on High Level, you can literally have unlimited hosted websites for free, like $0 per month. So going on to sites, and then you go back to websites on the top left, press on marketing agency. And this is a site that I made. It's a fully custom made site. My designer made it for us. And so you can use this for your own marketing company. You can change all of these texts. It's super, super simple, very editable. You can change everything over here. And this is what it kind of looks like if you were to just preview with the custom code and all of that. Let's see that. It would look something like this. And so all of these are pretty interactive. You can change everything that you see. You can also make these buttons do different things. You can change any of these FAQs, and you can just copy this website exactly as it is and start rolling with it in the next 10 minutes until you make your own custom one or whatever you'd like to do. By the way, High Level does have a lot of beautiful website templates on their higher plan, so that's also worth a thought. And just to get this plugged in, you would just press on Connect Domain, and then you would press on Purchase a Domain, assuming you don't have one. If you do have one, press on Connect Domain, and then you go purchase a domain directly inside of High Level, which makes this entire process super seamless. So you put in whatever name you want, for example, but I got iamlucid.com, and then you would just plug that in right into your site. I also recommend making an Instagram account name the same as your website so that it's all cohesive, just one name. You can use this to post testimonials, case study videos, and just to show off what you're doing for businesses in the area. And so I recommend not taking too long on this step. I call this the logo trap. It's like a spider web. Whenever someone's making a new business, they get so caught up on the logo and the fine details, which you can always just change later after you get your first 5 or 6 clients. But people spend way too much time making sure that everything is so perfect. Their website, their logo, their name, they try 1,000 different things, and then they never actually get their first client. They just quit next week. And so just make it whatever, anything that sounds decent, make it go live, and you can focus on the fine details later on. So make your Instagram page, get a website domain just to get something set up where you can put on a name, business card, name tag, whatever you'd like, and just have that rolling just so that you can start doing business, as I'll show you in the next video. Now, to actually start accepting payment, you would make a Stripe account. This is the go-to that everyone basically uses because it's very integratable into High Level, and it's also just like the most widely known. But honestly, there's 1,000 payment providers. You can use whatever you want, whatever your country supports. They all probably take the same amount of fees. Go for the lowest fees. It could be any way that you want to accept payment. You can have it go on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. I typically use Stripe. You would go on Stripe and then press on Start Now to make your own account. And so if you have a company, which you probably don't yet, but if you could, you can make a company account, or at least put your company's EIN and all that stuff, or you can make your own Stripe account with your own name and not necessarily a business yet. So once you actually make your Stripe account and everything gets set up and approved, you can make different payment links. And so I recommend making at least 1 to 3 different payment links between any price range. So between $150 a month at the lowest to, I'd say, $1,000 a month at the absolute highest, based on how much you want to sell this for. And you would basically have these links made on Stripe on the payment links section, and then you would save this as a text replacement on your phone. So if you have an iPhone, go to settings, type in the word text replacement, and copy that Stripe link into a text replacement. So if you type in 125, for instance, on your phone, it'll automatically paste your pricing for 125, or 500, for instance. It'll automatically replace that text on your phone with the Stripe payment link. And that's really important. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's video, but basically it's really important because you want to basically close the sale as soon as possible. And so if the person's right in front of you, you don't want to say, give me a few days, I'm going to go back and figure out how Stripe works, and then send you a link. They're going to be like, bro, I'm straight. So make sure you have the link ready to go while you're in the sale so that you can close right away. So the process of actually removing 1-star Google reviews is pretty simple. The chances of it actually working, I've seen, are about 20 to 30%. So it's honestly not the most common, but the way that you would do this for a business, assuming they got a review that broke Google's terms of service, is they would leave the Google review saying, oh, I hate the person at the front. She's such a this and that word and so many rude things about the specific person. What you would basically do is report that review directly on Google. Just press the little I circle icon next to the review, press on report for whatever rule it's breaking. You can ask ChatGPT for that. And let's say they're like insulting a person or like harassing a person. You would report it. After 3 days, if that review does not get taken down, you can now escalate that review to get taken down by pushing a little bit further. And so I'll leave you a link in the description below for this one. You would basically go to, and I have to blur actually a lot of this out. You would press on the Google business that you're managing. Let me refresh this page. Press on confirm, and then press on the Google business that you're managing. And then press on check the status of a review I've reported and my appeal options. Press on appeal eligible reviews. And then you would press on any of the reviews or even all of the reviews. So you press on that, press on continue, and then you press on submit and appeal. And so this will pull up a brand new page right over here where you basically have a few options. Now this is the page where you have to explain perfectly, okay? You have to tell Google why this person broke the Google terms of service for leaving reviews on the business and exactly how or why. And so why do you think the policy is violated by the review in question? So press on the policy page right over here that they'll give you. And in this policy page, there's a lot of information. And so what you can do is give this to Gemini or to GPT and say, here's the review, here's the Google policy page, which policy did this reviewer break? And if they even broke it, even for one word, If they said something that was like out of line or rude or harassment towards one single person at that business in specific that was uncalled for, basically any of these, then like harassment, for instance, then you can easily get this taken down. But you have to just explain that to Google. And so usually AI does an amazing job at this. I'll be totally honest. It'll tell you this person broke this rule and that rule. And then you'd basically say, okay, explain this so I can submit it to Google in under 1,000 characters, and then make sure that it's getting to the point. Like, don't let it put any AI jargon. You can just kind of paste it into there. Put any screenshots also of the review if you'd like, or if anything else that you would need to prove that this person isn't really either a client at this company or any of the above. Sometimes what I've even done is gone to the booking software of my clients, typed in the person's name and said, look, this person doesn't even come here. Like, we don't even have them in our system at all. They're not even a real client. And so that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Press on confirm as long as it's accurate, and then press on submit. Now I have to blur a lot of this out, but to optimize a Google business profile is actually really simple. AI does a lot of the work for you, if we're being honest, and you can offer it to your clients to actually get them ranked a lot higher, and some small tweaks could actually make a big difference revenue-wise for their business. This is exactly how we do it. So first, go over to edit services for the company. And whatever, like this for instance, has no services. I have to optimize it for my client, but you basically press on add custom service. And for instance, if it's a spa or if it's a barber, for instance, you would tell ChatGPT, give me a list of services for this company type, so a barber, for instance, that I can put on the Google business profile. So let's just say you press on save. So after you add a bunch of these, you probably add maybe 5 to 10 for yourself. Then you would go back to each one. This takes a little bit of time. You would go back to each one, press on it, and then give a service description that's keyword rich and SEO optimized. Tell that to AI. That's under 300 characters long. Copy and paste this service description right over here and press on save, and go do that one after the other over and over again. Next, you want to make sure that everything over here looks like it's fully completed. So Google will actually help you out a lot. Press on complete information. And then you would add a storefront photo, photos of the inside that are high quality. You would go through everything that Google has, add a description of the business, make sure all the dates and times are accurate when they're open and when they're closed, and make sure that everything is set up here perfectly. High Level is also adding a new feature where you can automatically reply to all of your clients' past Google reviews automatically. And so that's coming out really soon. It should be in the reputation side of High Level that we just talked about once it's out. So you might be seeing that when you're watching this video. You can also go to photos, make sure those are up to date. Add a post from the company. So, hey, this is business owner name. We're offering 1, 2, and 3 at this company. We do 1, 2, and 3. Just post something to show that you're actually active. For Q&A, you can also ask questions to your own business and then answer those questions. So again, you can use AI for all of this. Give me 10 to 15 questions for this business type and then answer them. Do we offer different types of languages here? Do we offer 1, 2, and 3? And then show that those are being answered. So what this will all do for your business is it will show Google that you're answering questions, answering reviews, getting reviews, editing service options, putting in keyword-rich service descriptions, and putting up-to-date photos, which shows Google that you're active, people love you, you love your clients, and everything's working great, which gives them the confidence to rank you guys a lot higher. And of course, if they get ranked higher, they get a lot more business, and that's just a simple way to keep the revenue coming in for your clients month after month. Now, to fully automate when leads come in from your clients' booking software into High Level, you would basically go to Zapier and get a Zap set up. So there's many ways of doing this. You can either, one, do this yourself every day by downloading a report from their client's booking software and plugging it into High Level, or you can hire a virtual agent on Upwork to do this for you for like $5 an hour, or you can use Zapier, which is a software that basically integrates 2 softwares together. So new client finishes their booking with this software name, and then it sends it to High Level. And so there's many ways that you can do this, also like API options in High Level too. Whatever makes it as easy as possible for you. And so for some of my clients, if their booking software does support it, I usually use Zapier because it's so simple. And you basically set up a Zap so that it sends this client over to High Level, asks for a Google review, does everything automated for you. It's really, really quick. This is an example of a simple Zap. Basically, it's only 2 steps. Once a job is completed or an invoice is updated in Jobber, which is the software my client uses, then it will send the client's information over to Lead Connector, which also basically means High Level. It's just their gray labeled name. And then it sends that lead to a workflow, and that workflow asks them for a Google review, right? So basically it's automatically just sending clients from one software to another, asking for a review, and basically doing whatever else you want, fully automated. And that's why I like to use Zapier a lot. And so I'll be honest, not every single booking software will have the ability to use Zapier. They won't give you webhooks, which is an option in High Level in the workflows. They won't give you APIs. They won't let you integrate no matter what you do. Everything is closed off in their own software. And so I have, for a couple of clients, had to hire somebody, a VA online, to literally every single day at 5 p.m. download the client list, upload the client list. Basically a human Zapier connection. And so that's the last case scenario. That's a last resort, but sometimes you might have to do that. It's not expensive at all. Or you could just do it by yourself if it doesn't bother you. So it's always a good option. High Level also does give you a free onboarding call that shows up in your agency account. You can basically join this call. They'll teach you whatever you need to learn and ask any questions, and you basically get everything set up with them on board 24/7. They have an amazing support team. So I recommend jumping onto that call just to get yourself set up in case you need any help whatsoever. So as long as all of this made very general sense, you don't have to be a pro at this just yet. You could still be very, very basic level, but as long as you know exactly what your offer is, how to somewhat get it set up, you're on the right track. The next video is going to be on outreach, getting people to know about you, to hear about you, getting in front of their face, calling, DMs, texting, emailing, whatever it is. I'll teach you exactly how to get that set up so that you can actually, not only spend all your time on the technicalities of this, but actually get it sold to people in real life. That's the whole point of this. And so in the next video, you're going to see exactly how to do outreach. That's the next step. You got this. I'll see you soon. This is the most important video in this entire series because this video is going to be on outreach. Probably the most important, but also the hardest skill that I'll be teaching. So you're going to have to really, really be prepared mentally to hear a lot of rejection. And it sounds easier when I'm talking about it. You're just watching a video on your phone or on your computer. But when you're in real life, or you're calling people, or you're DMing people, or even sending emails, and one day after the next, you're just getting rejection after rejection, and people are just so rude and not giving you any attention whatsoever, it's hard. It really, really hurts you personally. And trust me, I've been there. And so my whole idea with this video is to basically shortcut you from the very beginning and everything that I've learned the hard way so that you can get there so much faster and not have to deal with whatever I had to deal with. And so I'll be teaching you everything that I've learned when it comes to actually getting someone to find out about who you are and what you do so that they can decide if it's right for them. And so we're going to basically be getting you in front of all of the right eyes, but to get there in front of the right eyes, you're going to have to get through a lot of rude people, a lot of rejections, and a lot of the wrong people. And so that's just the way that it works. We can't pinpoint everyone perfectly. That's just how the world is, okay? So we're going to have to get through that. Keep in your mind, throughout this entire, next 6 months of your life, keep in your mind that somebody does need what I'm offering. A business owner, probably within a mile of me, needs what I'm offering. They either don't know who I am or they don't know what I'm offering, but they need it, okay? And so it's going to take a lot of rejection to find that perfect person. You might have to go to 20 to 40 people in real life before you get your first client. It's rough, but you got this. Let's go. One thing that I learned about outreach pretty early on is that sometimes volume really is better than quality. I used to literally handwrite custom-made postcards with my company name on it and like a Sharpie marker about their company, how many Google reviews they had, how exactly I could help them out, where they were struggling online. I gave them a full custom audit report for every single business that I walked into, along with a 4-page paper of exactly how I could help them, and a box of a dozen Tim Horton donuts to every single business that I walked into. It took a long time and a lot of money, waking up every single freaking morning and buying 7 dozens of donuts and putting them in my car in my passenger seat and going one business to the next over and over again. And guess what? Nearly all of that went to waste. I only got one sale after spending hundreds of dollars and countless hours trying to do that sort of outreach. And so it's a lot more effective to pitch, I'd say 20 businesses in one day than 5 targeted businesses in one day. It takes less time, it drains you a lot less mentally, and honestly, it makes you look a lot less needy. When you walk into a business saying like, hey, I'm so excited to be here. Here's a box of donuts. Here's this for free. Do you guys want coffee? Can I get you guys anything? So I do marketing. And when you walk in with that sort of energy, even if you really could help them out and you're the best person for the job, which you probably are if you care that much, they're going to look at you like you seem a little bit sleazy, like you want something from us. And so that kind of sounds weird. Like, why are you giving us free things? Why are you walking with so much energy? And I learned that really early on. You just walk in with absolutely nothing, or either some product like an iPad or even like a flyer that you can walk in with, but never huge amounts of gifts with custom made postcards. I learned that the hard way. Hit more places than less. It's always more worth it. Another thing that I learned is that, look, I used to never actually wear professional or even casual types of clothing, probably my entire life. If you look at any of my previous videos in the last 8 years on YouTube, I've always been wearing like a plain white t-shirt, a plain black t-shirt, or a hoodie. But now you see I'm wearing like a polo long sleeve shirt and stuff like that, a quarter zip, I guess this is called. But basically, it doesn't have to be expensive to look somewhat, I guess, respectable or I guess upkept. It doesn't have to be, really. There's a lot of different places that you can go to that will, for example, this I got from TJ Maxx. You don't have to go to Polo and spend this, by the way, it costs I think $130 to buy this shirt right over here. But at TJ Maxx it was 60, so it was over half off on like a regular day. And you can find a regular short sleeve shirt that's a polo for about $20 over there. So you can get really top tier name brand stuff and you don't have to spend a fortune on it. There's actually no need to do that at all. Especially if it's a business expense, you don't have to go and buy the best of the best stuff. You're just going to look somewhat respectable and presentable so that you can close your sale. And so that's what I'd recommend getting, is at least a couple of shirts, some khaki pants, and there's a long list on screen right over here of all the places that you can do that, not only in person, but also online. For instance, a favorite of mine online is called Banana Republic Factory. And so you can get really, really good stuff there for an extremely cheap price. So check out any of these pages based on which country you live in or whichever state you live in. And you can either go there in person or get some good clothing online. So you can go start going either door to door, or you can use this for the sales process, which we'll talk about in the next video. But make sure that you're at least somewhat upkept and looking pretty professional. So there are different methods of doing outreach. So there's door to door, which is my absolute favorite. I never thought that it would be. I was always scared to take my first step outside of my house to go to a business. But when I actually did, after failing at doing every other method, I realized that this was the most effective thing to possibly do. And so a lot of you are going to say, no, I'm good. I'll just stay inside my house. But I really, really urge you to try doing door to door. I'll teach you everything about it in this video, but don't shut that out just yet. Leaving your house and walking into a business is way more effective than calling, DMing, or even emailing them. I just have to put that out there. The other options, of course, are cold calling, which is, believe it or not, really tough. A lot of hangups, a lot of people telling you no right away. And then you also have emailing and cold DM over Instagram. So the main goal when you're doing any of these outreach methods is to aim for the appointment or aim for a decision maker, but never aim for the sale on your first attempt. You're not selling anything on the spot. You're just talking to someone that might be interested in seeing what you have to offer so that you can see if you can actually help their business. And then you can talk about pricing and profit and everything else after that. But make sure that your intention isn't, I'm walking in here so that you can pay me money. It's, I'm walking in here to see if I could help you and if you guys are receptive to me helping you. That's the whole idea. And people can actually feel that. If they have the vibe or the energy that you're walking in here like you're trying to sell them something, they're going to kick you out so fast. Every single business gets sales reps walking in. Make sure that you don't feel like you are one. Remember, people buy based off of emotion. Talk about their pain points and talk about how you could actually help them before you start talking about your features and how cool your software is and all the marketing SMS ways that you can bring them in more Google reviews and business and Google SEO. Don't talk about any of the technicalities or the features just yet. Instead, talk about the pain points and what that actually means from them. So you're going to have to actually put your mind in the same mind frame that a business owner or a business manager would have, which is how much business are we getting, right? How much revenue are we pulling in on a day-to-day basis? And how can we increase that number? Basically, it's really, really simple. They're just thinking in terms of numbers always. And so if you can show them that, hey, I have methods of getting more people to walk in those doors every single day that you probably haven't tried yet. Do you guys just post on social media? Instead, we do something different for you that could actually bring more business in and increase your revenue every single month going forward. And so that's how you kind of want to make your mind frame before you actually do start walking or doing any of these cold calling methods, so that you're selling, I guess the term online is to sell the hole, not the drill, or to sell the sizzle, not the steak. You basically want to sell the outcome and never the feature or the product that you're actually selling them, right? Just to give you one example, an airline will never ever sell you that it's going to be a rough flight. And you're going to have to sit in the same chair for the next 7 or 8 hours of your life. But they will sell you the idea that you're going to end up on a beach, drinking the coolest drinks and having the best food and have the best weather and all that stuff. They will sell you on that. And so if you're trying to go to Hawaii, they're never going to bring up how long the flight is. They're going to bring up what happens when you actually get there. And so the same exact concept works for you when you're doing any sort of selling in any portion of your life, is that you're never going to try to sell them, these are the exact things that I offer. You instead sell them, these are the exact things that the outcome my offer will give you. So try to make sure that you're in that mind frame before anything else. So my favorite way of doing door-to-door sales is to just walk up like a regular customer and wait to be addressed. I used to walk in and start talking right away. They might be on their computer, the manager might be having a crappy day and not even like look up at you and be like, no thank you, we're good. Instead, you just walk in like a regular customer would. You walk in and wait. And then when they get off their computer or they're not preoccupied with whatever else they're doing and they actually look at you, then you can start talking over there. And so I usually let them start talking first. I wait for them to just like address me in any way. Like, oh, are you in schedule? Are you a new client? Did you want to come in for a certain reason? Whatever they ask you, then you kind of make it a joke. Like, oh, I'm not even an actual client yet. I wanted to come bring you guys this. I usually hand them a flyer or I start talking about something that I can actually show them that's tangible. And so in your case, I might show them their Google business profile page, which is you can just do on your phone or on your iPad, for instance. Makes you look a little more professional if you have an iPad. And you can walk in and say, oh, I'm not even in schedule. I came to talk to the manager about taking down this 1-star review you guys had on Google from this person's name. And then go into either how you could remove it or how you could bury it with more 5-star Google reviews. And so when you come off with that expression, you're not selling them anything. You just want to talk to a manager about taking off a negative Google review that they have. And then they're thinking like, oh, like I've seen that Google review. The person's making fun of me or the person's talking bad about the business. And so they'll usually grab you a manager, or they'll at least be concerned enough to say, oh, so what is it that you guys do exactly? So can you take down Google reviews? Just start the conversation there. There are ways, like I mentioned in the last video, of taking down Google reviews, but we'll be totally honest, it's never ever guaranteed. I never tell my clients it's guaranteed because it's really not. They won't be happy to find out that it's not later on. And so you could just go into a longer conversation and ask them questions about, well, no, we either typically try taking them down. Of course, it's always up to Google to take it down at the end of the day, but we usually submit a really deep ticket to get it pulled down better than most people could do. Or instead what we do is we get a lot of 5-star Google reviews so that this 1-star is buried so low that most people don't even end up seeing it and you guys still look like you're doing great online. Something of that nature. Make sure that you're talking to either one, a person that's a manager or a decision maker at that business, or two, that you're going to eventually get an appointment with that person. And so sometimes they're not really down to talk at that exact moment. If they're busy, if they have clients, if there's a waiting room, if there's staff that's like working super hard, I'll be honest, you're not going to walk in and sell right away. Okay. The hard reality of it is that once you show them that, hey, I'm here to bring value, and then they think, okay, we actually could possibly use that. We'll talk about this at a later time, or if you can wait a few minutes, we'll talk to the manager once we finish up on these last few clients. And so it could go either one of two ways. Or they can tell you, no thanks, we're good, nope, no thanks, and then just like walk away. If they tell you that, honestly, it's no problem at all. Just smile and keep on moving. So many times that third option has actually happened to me, and they were super, super rude about it when I really could have helped that business out. And I end up working with their competitors down the street and destroying them on Google by basically ranking way higher above them, and they get pushed down lower down the ranking. And so it's honestly their fault that I came up very humbly, and they were like shooing me off and being super rude about it. So don't let that hurt you. But the first two options are always the basic main goal that you're trying to go for. Either I'll come back and talk to the manager. The manager, if you can give me the manager's phone number, I will call them. Or they can take my phone number down, which is probably the least most effective one there, because they're probably not going to really ever call you back. That's just how sales works. And so sometimes you'll also hear, oh, can we get your email? Or here, take our email and then just email us whatever you guys can do for us. They're not going to answer your email. I've tried this so many times with tens of emails. No one ever actually got back to me over email follow-ups. It just goes to their spam folder. They never actually end up opening it. And once you're there in the flesh, in person, that's the highest chance that you have. And so you can just tell them right away. Like if they try pushing you off or making any sort of lame excuse, you could say, oh, if you guys don't mind, I typically don't, follow back up over email because most people don't even really answer it. But if you can tell me, like, if this doesn't mean too much to you guys, I don't have to keep on going forward, or like, we don't have to work on this anymore. If it's basically push away and tell them like, look, if this isn't right for you guys, or you're not really worried about these Google reviews, or you're not worried about getting more clients, it's also totally fine. And then just see how they react to it. If they're like, yeah, we're honestly good, we have someone for marketing, it's okay, thank you. They keep trying to like push you away. These guys you don't want to work with. I'll be totally honest, and there's a lot more of them than you think. And so it could go any of those possible ways. The best of the two options, but you should always keep your intention for is, sure, I'll wait for a manager, 20 minutes, no problem. Or give me the manager's number, and then I'll call them a little bit later today and we'll talk more about it. Or something of that nature so you can actually get in with them as soon as possible. And then after all of that, you go on to the next business over and over and over and just forget the first one even happened. Because if they don't reach back out to you or the manager doesn't ever answer you again, it's no issue at all. You have to just keep on doing volume over quality. Another really important tip is to diagnose the pain, but do not inflict it. And so show them their Google page. For instance, when you walk in, if you have the iPad or your phone out, show them that 1-star Google review. Ask them questions about it. Have you guys tried reporting it? Do you guys know who this person is? We usually get them taken down for other people, but it may or may not work for you guys. What have you guys tried so far? Do you guys do anything else when it comes to getting ranked higher on Google? Do you guys have a marketing team? Do you guys do anything when it comes to Google SEO? Who built your guys' website? Do you guys really, focus on the keywords on there? Ask 100 questions and just kind of see how they react and keep the conversation going from there. But you're only trying to diagnose the pain. So make sure you don't inflict pain by saying, oh, that's a nasty Google review. You guys are probably horrible. Which, by the way, I don't know why some salespeople actually do this. It's happened to me over emails. People try to reach out over YouTube like, hey, I'm a video editor. By the way, your editing sucks. The last editor you had was absolute garbage. I can do way better. Like, bro, don't insult me. If you want me to pay you money, if like the end goal here is so that the owner of the business will actually hand over a credit card or money to you, don't be rude to them. Just be totally authentic and genuine. Show them that there's a problem, basically kind of like a doctor would. Diagnose the problem. Okay, you guys are ranked 4.2 stars on Google. That's typically not the best because people are not going to see you when they look you up online and for 1, 2, and 3 reason. But don't ever tell them, oh my God, 4.2 stars? Do you guys even care about your business? Don't take that route. A second pitch that you can walk in with is, hey, I came to show you guys this 1-star review on your Google page. So when people look you guys up online, they're able to see it. And I might be able to help you either get it taken down or get it buried with a lot more 5-star Google reviews. Have you guys tried anything about this yet? Or have you guys tried reporting this yet? And then when you ask that question, you're not asking for a sale like I was talking about. You're asking a genuine question, which, by the way, like almost every single manager or business owner definitely has tried reporting their 1-star reviews. And so that's a great conversation opener so that they can open up to you and talk to you and see if it would be a good fit so you can talk to someone that could make a decision on moving forward. And if they try asking, like, what exactly do you guys do? What do you guys offer? You can just keep it very general and very brief. Don't talk about your features just yet. Say we offer a lot of different marketing services. Usually we get a lot more Google reviews, or we either take down Google reviews so that businesses can get a lot more traction organically on Google. It's like having a billboard up on the nearest street for free on Google. So you can say something kind of like that, that's very general, that's very easy or low level to understand, so that when you do sit down with the owner of the business, then you can talk about actual details, what your pricing is and what you're really offering. So after that initial pitch, make sure that you talk a bunch about what they've tried, what they're looking for, and how they currently get their Google reviews. So you can ask them, do you guys usually ask every person that walks out of here for a review? Or do you guys let your software do it for you? And just basically ask about how their process currently works, but don't start giving them solutions right away just yet. Just kind of talk to them and see where they're currently at. And then you could always ask to talk to a manager about this, or to talk to the owner about this, or just to see what it's going to take to see if you guys can even help each other out. So that's what you kind of want to have your mind frame as. If you have to come back tomorrow for a meeting or set an exact specific time when the manager will be in tomorrow, that also definitely works too. The positive of this is that the manager is actually expecting you. And so now when you walk in tomorrow at 4 p.m., for instance, you can walk in, prepare to talk to the manager, and then you can take control of the meeting there, which we'll talk about in the next video. Try to also be dynamic in your pitch, because some businesses might not have any 1-star Google reviews. You might have to even talk about other pain points. Like, if I look up niche name near me or in the city near me, how far down do you guys rank on Google? Do I have to press on the show more button? By the way, Google only shows 3 places when you look that up. Then you have to press on show more and then scroll, which, by the way, nobody actually does unless they're really looking for a good solution and they're doing a lot of homework, which is rare. But if you have to press on the button show more, you've already lost like 80% of people. And then scrolling down, you're basically almost guaranteed to not get any calls having it that way, right? And so the whole idea is to be within the top 3 of Google so that you can get more organic traffic and not have to spend any money on ads every single month. And so it's a really good way. It's like, I always tell people, it's like having a billboard in the busiest road of your city that's always there, and it gets you calls every single day for paying nothing. And so that's the whole idea. For example, you can walk in and say something like, hey, I came to show you guys something on your Google page. I see that you guys don't have many Google reviews, and so people aren't able to find you online when they look up niche name near me. I might be able to help you guys get more reviews and rank higher so people can actually start seeing you guys, start to get a lot more calls, as opposed to other companies like niche, like competitor 1, competitor 2, and 3 that are getting a lot more business in the city for this niche. Is there a manager that I could run this by? Something of that nature. You can kind of pull and take out words as you please to make it sound more, I guess, authentic to your cadence and to your speech. But that's how you can target it if they have no Google reviews, or I guess no one-star Google reviews. So the next option is cold calling. And you should try out all of these options to find out what you perform on the best. I personally have tried all of them. And so you should probably do a cold call, something like this. Hey, is this business name? Hey, I found you guys on Google, and just now I saw that you had a one-star review from the reviewer's name. Is there someone that I could talk to about this? I might be able to get it taken down for you. That's all you can say. And when they hear that, like, okay, cool, because like they know that there's a one-star review. Every business owner knows about them, and they're really a huge pain point. And so if that's all you're asking for is just maybe you can help them get it taken down, then you want to get to a decision maker as soon as possible. They might follow up and say, wait, what exactly do you guys do? Do you work with a company? What's your name? You could say, yeah, we have a marketing company. We typically help companies get more Google reviews or even take down negative ones. And so it's not guaranteed, but I could possibly help you guys if we can give it a shot. Something like that. Don't go into all the details just yet. Just keep it very general, very brief until you talk to an actual decision maker. And then you want to preferably, if you could, set an appointment over the phone to meet in real life. Meeting in person, face to face, you close the deals so much more effectively, like drastically more effective than if you were to just do it over a phone call or over a Zoom call. But if that's your only other option, of course, that's all you could do, but try to be there in person as best as you could. A second cold call script could be something where you kind of go straight for the manager so you can come in person and you have an exact time to come in. And so I'd probably do this less than the first one, but you could say something like, hey, I was going to stop in today, but I thought it's just better if I call in and ask, do you know when the manager or the owner would be in? And then if they answer you and they give you a time frame, then you can say, okay, cool. Can you just leave my name or like a note for me so that they know that I'm going to be coming in at that time? My name is Alex, and I'm coming in to talk about if I could possibly outrank your competitor, like competitor name on Google. And that's a pretty good conversation starter too. And so if they ever ask, what's this regarding? You can say that exact line. And so as long as you bring up, wait, competitor name down the street, they're getting more business than us, you can help us outrank them. That's a really good, interesting take to have so that they can want to speak to you more. So if they say, yeah, sure, they'll be in tomorrow, but what's this regarding? You can say, well, I was going to come in and talk to the manager about outranking competitor name on Google. And so when I looked you guys up, they showed up first above you guys. And so because of that, they're getting a lot more calls. I just thought I might be able to help. So I wanted to see if there was a good time that I can swing by. Is it cool if I show this to you, or is it better just to talk to the manager? You can say questions like that. Make sure you're always ending on a question so you're still conversational, and then try to get them to at least make your introduction a little bit more warm. So you can ask them to write your name down on a note or something like that, like Alex will be in here tomorrow at 4 p.m. or to call Alex at this number, just anything so that you're not a cold lead. When you walk in, they're kind of expecting you and they can make a decision better at that time. If they have no one-star reviews, you could say something like, hey, I was looking you guys up on Google just now, but I saw a competitor name show up first. I might be able to help you guys get this fixed so that you're showing up on top of them. Do you know when the manager is going to be in, just so I can run this by them to see if it'd work for you guys? And then you're just basically asking to talk to the manager. If you're speaking already to the manager, you can go into asking them, oh, okay, so this is what I found. You guys were ranked number 5 on Google. I might be able to help you guys outrank company name 1, 2, and 3. Have you guys tried anything like this before in the past? Have you guys tried marketing on Google in any way, shape, or form? Ask questions, don't sell them on that first call, and try to get a second meeting where you actually could go into the call to close. But don't sell them right there on the phone. They'll ask you, what do you do? What's your pricing? Who are you guys with? Keep it brief, keep it very general and short, and talk more about them. Make sure that they're answering the questions and not you. If you're a beast on the phone and you realize that, bro, I can just call back to back and I'm on fire right now, you could try something, but it takes a lot of confidence. You could try something like where you call them and say, hey, is this company name? They'll say, yes. What's this regarding? Tell them like, look, this is a cold call. Can I have 20 seconds of your time before you hang up? And they might be intrigued enough to answer. Or you can say, hey, look, this is a cold call about the 1-star Google review that you guys had. Can you guys talk about this for 20 seconds before you hang up on me? Something like that where you just get your foot in the door. And as long as you can talk for a little bit, it's of course longer than 20 seconds, but if you can just talk to them a little bit, ask them questions and actually get the appointment made, you really could say anything, as long as they don't hang up on you and it really piques their interest. Just beware, a lot of businesses do get busy. So call them either right when they wake or right when they're opened up, not right when they wake up, but right when they're open so they're not as busy and they actually have more patience and energy to actually speak to you. This also goes for door-to-door or basically any other outreach method, but just make sure it's not like midday when they're super busy, because they're not going to have any time to speak to you either in real life or over the phone. I usually just start going door to door at around 9 a.m. And so that's when most places start opening up, and that's when I'm right there, right inside of their business. For a cold DM, you can say something like, hey, I was looking up niche type near me online, and then competitor name showed up first. I might be able to help you guys outrank them on Google so people start calling and actually seeing you guys first. Were you already working on something like that, or have you guys never done Google SEO before? You can ask any sort of follow-up question just to get the ball rolling and start a conversation over DM. Just know that on Instagram, I think you might have between 20 or 30 cold DMs per day before you start to get rate limited or banned. And so don't push it too far. You could even have like 3-4 different accounts. And I'm pretty sure the age of your account does matter. So if it's off your personal account that you've had for 7 years, then you're probably in a better position to send more than 30. But I'm not exactly sure. They always change the algorithms on you, so I can't tell for certain. So you could email a bunch of businesses the same exact DM that you have for Instagram. But again, you can also hire someone $5 per hour to do this for you, and you'll be able to do this way faster. There are also other emailing tools that you can use to scrape for thousands of email addresses and then blast email all of them. You can use sites like instantly.ai. They're really good at this sort of thing, but I'd really recommend focusing on more door-to-door and cold calling before you start going into, scraping large data lists and then going for mass outreach campaigns. I think it's just more effective and teaches you honestly a lot more. I'd recommend only going this hard on Instagram DMs or emails where you get long lists and you have 3 VAs working for you at the same exact time. Only when door-to-door or just being there physically in person is not an option for you at all. So whatever circumstance you're in or whatever country, if you're selling to a different country that's super far away from you, obviously you can't go pull up in person. And so this would be a good reason to go all in when it comes to DMs, cold calling, and Instagram, or I guess emailing in that sense. So that's how you do outreach. The first time I ever did outreach, I was dripping sweat. Like I was actually dripping sweat. I was so nervous. I walked into the first business. I was like shaking. I could barely even speak. I was fumbling over my words and I looked super, super inexperienced. And now when I walk in, it's like I'm talking to a friend that I've known for years. Like I barely get nervous ever. And so it's going to take time for everybody, for every single person in any field. Your first, I'd say 1 to 15 places that you do is going to be nerve-wracking, but at every single time you walk into the next business, it gets easier and easier and easier until you eventually just become a pro at walking in and they can pick up on that energy. So don't expect yourself to close the sale in your first business. Just know like, yeah, I'm probably going to be nervous. I might not be the best at this, but I have to do this so I can progress on my next business. And by next week, it'll be super, super normal to me. So think about it like you're getting, I guess, like 5% better every time you walk into a business. And even typically for your first couple of months, when you walk in or even cold call or any of the methods, your first few of the day are going to be more nerve-wracking than your last few of the day. And so you always need that like social, I guess, lubricant of just kind of putting yourself out there. Your first time doing a workout is going to be a little bit harder until you're in the zone, your blood is pumping, right? So same sort of sense over there. You're just going to have to push through. This is the most important skill ever. Doing outreach and doing sales is one of the most important things that you could possibly learn. And they don't teach it in school. They barely teach it in college sometimes if you want to take those classes. And so this is a thing that you just kind of have to push yourself to actually do. You can be young and do this. I know some guys that are like super young, still in school or high school or college, and they're doing door to door and they're actually selling. And so when you walk in and you're a freaking beast, even if you're young, even if you're like 18, 19, and you're still pushing through and doing this, people will actually respect you more. And so just go through it. Push through it. It's going to be rough. It's going to be difficult. You can get some more help from the guys in the Discord server as well. They'll even tell you firsthand, like the first time I screwed up so bad, but now it's much easier. And it make for a sick come-up story when you finally land your first client or even your 100th. Thank you for watching this video. You got this. And the next video will be on sales. I'll see you there. Peace. I've grown my marketing agency in the first year to 6 figures in profit, and learning sales was one of the most important things that I've done to actually get there. I was never taught sales growing up. I never learned anything about it, never took classes on it. But in this last year, I learned a lot, either from online, in person. There's also a lot of fake information out there when it comes to sales that you need to stay away from because it will affect your ability to actually close sales. And so I'll teach you everything that I've learned in this short clip. A good salesperson listens more than they speak. If you've seen those videos online of those guys that make these like theatrical sales videos, they get hundreds of thousands of views, like, oh my God, look like some sales gurus. Or they start doing some like weird emotional tactics and they start bringing up the guy's wife and kids and the guy starts crying and he gives him his credit card. all of that stuff is not only fake, but it's going to make you worse at sales. Because if you believe that you have to put on this pressure and you have to talk about the guy's family and what's going to happen, like how about if you die and all this nasty stuff, you don't have to take it there. And if you do, you're probably not going to really close the deal. And so don't take any of those types of people's advice. You can just tell when you watch their videos, like, damn, that's sleazy. Those videos you need to stay away from. That's the first tip when it comes to sales. And so you have to actually ask questions, because those guys talk a lot, but real salespeople don't talk a lot, at least not for the first half of the conversation. Real salespeople ask questions. What have you guys tried so far? What are some issues that you guys are struggling with? Have you guys tried to fix this? Do you guys have anybody else on your marketing team that's been working on this? You ask a bunch of questions. Like, for instance, what do you guys currently do to get more business right now? Do you guys post on social media? Do you guys ask for Google reviews? So your booking software just asks people for you. Is it really effective at doing it? Do you guys respond to those reviews on Google once you get them? Okay, I see. You have to basically diagnose, kind of like you're a doctor. Another tip is to not get caught selling. So for some reason, a lot of people put on this persona when they first start doing sales, either on the phone, which I did honestly too. You start talking differently. You sound less like a human being, like you're either reading a script or you're talking really professionally, like when you're explaining things. Talk like a regular human being would. Speak with authenticity and be genuine. People can pick up on that right away and they will hang up or tell you no as soon as they find out that you're selling them something. Even AI has this problem. It sounds like your typical salesman. If you ask any AI model out right now, make me a door-to-door pitch for my marketing company, or write me a cold calling script so that I can, sell my marketing services, it's gonna give you something that sounds so cheesy, so salesy, so inauthentic, that basically sounds like you're reading off a script that you found online. People are going to see that and be like, no, I'm okay, thank you. Or like, I don't think I want this marketing service. They'll say something like, hey, if I can promise you 15 more bookings in the next week, would that be of benefit to you? Duh, clearly it would be a benefit to any business, but like no one actually talks like that, right? I was at Costco last week, and the guy at the AT&T stand was trying to get me to switch from my carrier over to them. And he was like, hey, if I can lower your monthly bill by $15 per month, would that be a benefit to you? I'm like, yeah, but honestly, I'm fine. I don't want to switch. And I'm like, but would that be of benefit to you? Like, what does that even mean? Of course, saving money is of benefit to me. Like, don't ask dumb questions. Ask serious questions. Ask questions like, do you have any issues with your carrier right now? Did your calls ever drop? Do you guys have any problems when it comes to any of the things that carriers might have to deal with, right? And when you find that issue, that pain point, then you can start asking genuine questions and build them a custom solution or actually solve their problem. But don't just say any cookie cutter line that kind of just goes with anything. Like, if we can make you $1 million, would that be a benefit to you? Clearly. We also don't say stuff like, hey, how's it going? My name is Alex. I'm calling from a marketing company. I'm just calling because I realized that you guys don't really have too much marketing going on in the area. You have a website that's kind of broken. We're not going to take that route either. We're not going to say, hey, I'm this person calling from this company, and this is what I'm going to offer you. Because they're expecting calls from clients. When they hear that you're just a burden on the phone or you're burdened in person, they have to conduct business. And so focus more on it from their point of view and how you could actually help them by finding a specific point that you can anchor off of, like we talked about previously. For instance, hey, I came in today because I saw you guys had a 1-star Google review that's showing up on your page, and I might be able to help you guys get it taken down. Is the manager in so I can talk to them about this? That's just genuine. I'm here to help you fix this problem that you guys are really struggling with. Who do I talk to? It's simple, it's to the point, and it's about their business and not about your business. I didn't even introduce my company or who I'm from or how cool our website is or all the cool marketing offers we do in SMS marketing. None of that. You guys have an issue. This is how I can probably fix it for you. Who should I talk to about this? Simple. Now, after you've actually done the outreach and now you're speaking to a decision maker, there's a few principles that we have to keep in mind that we don't make the mistake that basically everyone else does. And so we don't list features. As the person that actually sits behind the computer building out all of these custom offers that I'm giving you in these videos, trust me, I want to tell this business owner about every single workflow that I've made, every custom code, webhook, API, SMS campaign, recall campaign, Google review, auto text responder, all the amazing technicalities that we do. I love talking about this stuff. And maybe to you, I can talk about this stuff because you're also a marketer now, right? But we're not talking to a marketer or to some computer geek that would understand our language. We're talking to a business owner, and we have to speak his language. It's entirely different than ours. So the first thing that we have to do is first take control of the conversation by asking a lot of questions and finding out basically where their pain points are. We have to watch and listen very, very closely. We have to find out what issues are you guys having at that business and how can we diagnose them so that we can solve them. That's the main idea. We're here to talk about how not what basically we could do for them, but basically we're here to help them out with. And so it's always about them, and that's why we're always the one asking the questions. If at any point in the conversation of the actual sale you feel like you're being interrogated, then you're losing the sale. You could still come back and win. It's happened to me a couple of times. But whenever that happens, I'm like, whoa, wait, something's wrong. You shouldn't be asking me questions. I should be asking you questions. I'm the person that's the marketer that's actually doing the sales here, not you. And so whenever they ask you questions, now it's up to them. They can lean back in their chair and say, you know what? I don't know if I even trust you. I don't know if you're actually good at what you do. I don't know if you actually can say or do what you say that you can do. But when you're asking the question, it's like, hey, I'm the doctor in the room, kind of like, just like metaphorically, I'm the doctor in the room, and I'm finding out what issues you guys might have, and I'll tell you honestly whether or not I'm able to solve them or I'm not able to solve them. So ask questions, listen, and watch very carefully to qualify to see exactly where they need help or where they're feeling that they could improve in their business by simply asking them what they've tried, what issues they have, and how you can possibly help them fix those problems. Imagine you walk into your doctor's office, right? And before you even explain what's hurting you, he tells you, okay, here's your prescription, go pick it up at the pharmacy down the road. Like, what? I'm not going to take that medicine you use. Bro, you even know what happened? I have leg pain. Why'd you give me a cough syrup, right? And so that's what a lot of people do whenever they ask, oh, what can your marketing company offer us? We build websites, the best websites. We have a chat widget. I'm probably thinking like, you know what? I have a phenomenal website already. I paid top dollar for I love my website. I'm not looking to buy a website. And so because you already walked in prescribing them the same exact medicine that you prescribed every other business, they're not going to take it from you and they're going to kick you out of their room. And so be just like a doctor when you're doing sales. Basically, keep that in your head. I'm the doctor diagnosing and trying to solve the problem that they have. Some business owners actually don't have any problems. And so sometimes, or at least any problems that we could solve. So sometimes I'm talking to a business owner and I realize like, you know what? And this happened, I think, one time so far. I tried doing it sparingly. But one business owner that I was talking to, I realized, you know what? I do a lot of marketing, but I don't think you have a marketing issue. I think you have a staff problem. And I think even if I tried doing a lot of my marketing tactics and techniques, I might be able to offer you one or two things like an AI agent that picks up the phone for you guys. But if you guys just don't fix the issue that you have in store with your staff, you're going to keep on getting 1 stars, and I can't solve that for you. Maybe if you want to hire me, you could. I can try taking them down, but honestly, I don't even think it's worth you paying money to me. I literally said those words. I'm like, honestly, it's better for you to not even pay me. And the girl that I was pitching to owned the business. She was like, wow, you know, thank you for being honest. That really means a lot to me that you're just being really genuine and honest with me. Because honestly, if I close the deal on that day, she'd probably cancel next month when we both realize that she has a staffing problem and not a marketing problem. Although I really tried doing that as minimally as I possibly could, just so I don't, lose any deals, because I really could help most times. But really, there are just some situations where, bro, the business is so rocked. They don't care at all about their business. Even if you were to work with them, they're just going to give you a headache, a hard time, and you're not going to see any results because they're not even willing to work with you at all. So that happens sometimes. Just be aware of that and don't be afraid to tell a business owner, you know what, this might not be a good fit. If anything, they'll call you back in 5 years saying, hey, I really like that you were honest last time that we talked. My brother just opened up a brand new business down the street and he needs someone to build him a website or to do marketing for him. Can I pass him over your phone number? And stuff like this happens all the time, but only when you're honest, only when you're really authentic. And that means to be honest and authentic, you might have to turn the deal down sometimes. Just keep that in the back of your mind. It's like a 1% option, but keep it there as an option. So like I was saying, like a doctor, we ask the questions, for instance, what brings you in today? What made you want to even have this meeting? Because if they're having a meeting with you, they have a problem. Whether or not you could solve it, they have a problem, right? Owners of a company don't just meet with anybody that sends them a DM over Instagram or walks into their business. They meet with someone that thinks that maybe they can help them solve their problem. You only go to your doctor's office when you're not feeling well, right? And so you have to figure out, what is it that you're not telling me? So what are you guys doing right now to bring in more business? Are you guys running ads anywhere? Are you guys doing any other types of marketing? Do you have a marketing team? Have you tried doing any of these things before? Is that working out for you? So you do have a website. Okay, is the website really bringing you in more leads? What happens when I fill out the form on your website? Does it go to your email, or does it even does it ring your phone? Do I get a text message? How does that work? And typically, whenever you ask these questions, you'll really find out really, really quickly they have a lot of issues in their business that you really could solve. Does your staff get back to calls right away? How about if you guys are closed? Do you have any way of tracking who called you in? Okay, so your staff calls them back the next morning. A lot of times you feel like they've already called a different business down the street and they're going somewhere else because they didn't feel like waiting for the next morning. Okay, how about if someone texts your business? Do you guys accept text messages? You guys only have a landline phone, really? So you're not able to text people at all. So how about if someone calls or texts your business and you're not at the business, so you're not really too sure who's calling in? Is there any way, do you have a phone app? Are you able to check in on your staff to make sure that people that are calling are actually getting their calls answered or their text messages answered? Oh, you can't track that at all? Okay. Ah, man. So they kind of basically want to find out where they're lacking, right? And this, by the way, to every single business owner, almost every single time, they don't have a way of tracking phone calls. They don't have a way of doing any of the things that I mentioned below. And so they need someone to solve that for them. My favorite question is this. When someone's due for their next appointment, or when someone just got a haircut last week, or someone just came in for a facial, 3 months ago, and they're due for their next facial, what do you guys do? They'll say, oh, we should be calling them. The lady at the front, man, she's something else, but she should really be I train her to call every single person that's due for their next visit, no matter what niche or industry that you're in. But she just doesn't have the time, or she can't answer all the Google reviews, or she can't get back to every single text message or phone call. Now the business owner knows that they're lacking and they need to fix this problem, right? Especially when it comes to follow-up appointments, because that's exactly that's basically one of our main core offerings to get them business today as soon as possible, by texting their long list of past clients to get them back in the stores and back in their schedules. But a human being can't do that. It'll take them freaking forever. And so we have to just show them first that it would take them forever, they're not doing it, and then we can solve it. And so memorize. What I like to do is just memorize every issue that they've admitted to you, every problem that we found out about them, everything that we can fix or diagnose. Memorize it. Don't give them the solution right there and then, but wait until the end of the meeting, and then you give them all the solutions all at once. And so don't go one by one, they'll forget it with you. But you ask the questions to build the offer that you sell at the end of the meeting. And the way that you would sell it is something like this. So once we know everything that's going wrong in their business that they actually need us to help them with, we memorize all of it, put it together, and sell it to them just like this. We say something, okay, so we talked a little bit about 1, 2, and 3 today. You talked about that you're not really asking your past clients to rebook. And so that's a huge revenue missed opportunity. That's a lot of money left on the table, because other businesses might have someone calling one by one, or it might be honestly too hard for a lot of them. And so what we typically do is we can just text all of your past clients for you that haven't came back in for a haircut or a facial or for any of the things that people come back for, every 2 to 3 months that they haven't been back in schedule, so that we can make sure that they're coming back more consistently and they're taking care of their skin, or they're getting their haircuts more often, and they don't feel like they have to go to someone else. And also, if anybody's really been gone for over a year, we can also incentivize them to come back with a limited time offer. So we can get your schedules almost fully booked by doing this almost right away. So it's not going to take months or even years. We should be able to do this within the first couple of weeks of even starting with us. We also have a couple of other issues that we talked about. For instance, you're not really too sure who built your website, and you're not sure if you can change anything on there. And so when someone looks you guys up online and they see a site like that, it's a little bit problematic, because if they fill out the form on your site and you're getting back to them 3 days later, you're not even sure where the form is going, they've probably just called someone else, right? Or if you guys are ranked number 7 on Google, they're probably just going to call the top 3 businesses, order their food over there, and then the chances of them actually scrolling down, pressing show more, and finding you guys is really low. And so what we could offer is, by asking everybody for a Google review that comes in, sounding like it's the owner of the business, sounding like it's actually you. It's like you picked up the phone and texted every single person that walked out like a human being would. We just do that for you at scale. And so it takes no time from you. You get a lot of 5-star reviews that make your business look better. We can post them online, but it also makes you guys rank a lot higher, which gets you more organic traffic on Google. Once we can hopefully get you to the top 3 of Google, if not the top 1, then it's like having a billboard in your city where you're just getting more organic calls and texts from people, which you can actually apply now, so that you're always getting more calls and traction in business without spending money on ads every single month. It's actually really consistent. And so also, like, see how I'm kind of going through all the things that we talked about with them? And we talked a little bit about not knowing if your front desk lady is even answering phone calls or if she's getting back to everybody. And so what we could typically do is get you our phone app that we have on the App Store. It's called Lead Connector or whatever you want to have the app be. We have the phone app where you can basically log in at anywhere you are in the world. You can see what calls are coming in, if your staff is answering them, and what text messages are coming in as well. This way you guys can answer text after hours. And speaking of after hours, you also mentioned that you're not really getting back to anybody until the next business day. And so if it's 6 p.m. and I call your restaurant and it's closed or whatever business, I'm probably going to just call the next one. Or I'm probably going to call the next place that gives, like a haircut, for instance, right? But if you guys automatically texted me, automatically saying, hey, we're actually closed right now, but just send us a text message and we'll get back to you the first thing as soon as we're open. If I got a text message like that, I'd probably not feel the need to keep on calling business after business and just take my money elsewhere to your competitors, right? So what that's called is called lead capturing. And we do lead capturing by just texting them back and making sure that they know that we're onto their inquiry, we're going to get back to them, and they feel like we're actually waiting or we're actually, being attentive towards them. So they'll probably start asking you some questions like, after everything, how does this get set up? Or how could you guys implement this? Can you get access to our website and all those basic questions? And then they'll ask you the important question, which, okay, so what's your pricing? So the best way to give pricing is to do a value stack. So summarize everything that you just talked about in this entire call or this entire meeting in real life. Summarize everything that you're going to offer them and the solutions that you're going to solve for them. So don't just say, we're going to give you 1, 2, and 3. Say, because you mentioned this problem that you have, not knowing if your staff is answering calls, not answering Google reviews, not reaching back out to your old clients to get back in your schedule, we're going to offer you this solution. And because you have that problem, we're going to offer you this solution. Do it in that format because it really means something to them that you've listened, you know a lot about their business, and here's your exact solution to solve that problem for their business. So for everything that we talked about, I can set this up for you at our base monthly rate, which is month to month at no contract at $500. And then you just wait and watch. Don't say a word, just wait and watch them. Keep a straight face, keep it chill. Right? And so when you start talking, everyone talks about, like, online, it's very well known. Alex Mosey talks about it a lot. When you start talking after you give the pricing, it makes it seem like you're already backpedaling and you're not even too confident that you can even help them out. And so just be confident. And the exact way that I said it is, we offer everything. I can put you in at our base rate, meaning it doesn't go lower than this. Don't even try to just, haggle the pricing on me. I can do everything at our base monthly rate, which is month to month with no contract, for $500. It's better than saying we can do everything for $500 per month. When you say $500 per month, it sounds like it's more money than just saying month to month, no contract. So you can cancel if you want to at $500. And by the way, you can charge whatever you want for this. Based on the business, how much money you think they're making and how much they're comfortable spending, you can easily charge over $1,000. That's what I do. But you have to be confident in your approach. You have to have a lot of case studies and testimonials and proof so they're confident to spend that level of money with you. But for your first client, it's totally okay to go for a lower price. So on the positive note, if they say something like, okay, let's give this a shot, like right away. They just want to try right there. They're not opposed to it. The pricing sounds good. So, okay, so it's no contract. Let's see it for a month and just see what happens. Right away, you always accept payment before you walk out. You always accept payment before you hang up the call or the Zoom call. You never walk out and say, okay, we'll talk about payment later. No, they won't pay you. I promise you. I don't care who they are or what they swear on or how confident they won't pay you. Okay, there's like a 99% chance that they won't. It's happened to me before. I'll tell that story in a different video. I'm still mad about that till this day. But you accept payment right in front of them. You say, okay, I'm going to text you a link right now to get signed up. And once you get this going, we'll be able to start rolling right away. And so you just text them that link and you just wait for them. You just look at them, wait for them to pick up their phone, put in their credit card details or their bank account, and start paying you. The second that they show you that, okay, payment's completed, say, all right, sounds good, shake hands, I'm gonna get home and start working on this right now, and I'll give you an update in the next couple of days. Just a warning, I might have to bother you a little bit when it comes to getting set up. I might need some information from you. Is that okay for the next couple of days? Just to warn them because you will have to ask questions. We'll talk about that in the next video. But make sure that that's set up right there and then before you walk out of that business. they'll forget what you offered and they're not going to want to pay you anymore. Now, in reality, especially if it's your first sale, you're probably going to get some sort of objection because they don't fully trust you yet. You don't have a lot of case studies and proof and testimonials yet. And so what you could do, honestly, it's really up to you at this point. You could be firm on your pricing. You could lower your pricing just for a month or two, or you could even give them a free trial by making a free trial link on Stripe. You can make it 7 days to 14 days, however long you need to actually get it rolling for them. It's really, really all up to you. You can even be totally honest and be like, look, honestly, I'm going to give you a price that I basically make no profit on. All I ask is that when we do a good job marketing for you, you just write me a small testimonial so that I can show people that we're actually making good progress. Is that okay with you? Does that work? If you ask them that, it's a really humble way to get your first sale. It's possible, but at the same time, be careful because based on who the customer is or the client is, they might see that and be like, it looks like you're a noob at this. I don't want to risk my business with you. But if it seems like they really do want to do this, they're just not sure if it's really even worth it, and they're kind of like risk adverse, spending more money, you could always give that a try. Honestly, for your very first sale, just do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whether it's free entirely for an entire month or a small free trial, or even if you break even making no money at all, you're just at zero, it's still worth it. The experience is so worth it, I promise you, because when you have a good testimonial and good proof and you can show business B, hey, I got business A 70 Google reviews in one day, which by the way, I swear to God, I literally got a business 70 5-star Google reviews in 24 hours by texting their past list of customers. When I show that to business B, they're like, bro, what? 70? Okay, talk to the manager. Like it's an easy way to get your next sale, and then you can charge them, hey, this is what we do, this is what we've been doing, and this is our proof. We help out businesses by getting them all these Google reviews and ranking so much higher. Because business A worked with me, I got them 1, 2, and 3. And then when you have that level of confidence and when you talk with experience, you can easily charge $500. I would probably not go lower than that ever when you're doing something at least at like a base rate. Then you can start going even higher, $750 or even $1,000 a month. The main idea is you need testimonials, you need proof. Whatever business you're in, if you open up a restaurant, for instance, for whatever business, if you have no customers and no proof, the first customer should be your main goal and do whatever it takes to get that customer. If you get any real objections, or like red flags, for instance, you know what, I'm gonna have to think about this and get back to you next week, okay? Or it sounds good. I'm going to have to just take your phone number down and call you back later, or I'll have my manager come back and talk to you, or I have to run this by my partner because, you know, the business is 50-50, me and him, and I'll see what he says. It's honest truth. They're basically telling you no, okay? They're basically at 90% no at that point. What you're going to do at this point is just do whatever it takes to say, look, tell me right now, do you want this or do you not want this? But do it in a really genuine way. Find out what type of smoke screen they're throwing up so that you can cut through, you can get to the point, and you can tell, is it worth even talking to you any longer? Are you just being cheap? Do you not trust me? Is whatever I say never going to actually close this deal? Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes some people are just really cheap and they just won't spend money. And if you don't want to work with them, that's totally up to you. I personally do not work with people like that because they're going to always make you work harder and give you a bigger headache when you make almost nothing on them. And so sometimes you can figure that out and you can just leave the sale. Or sometimes you can try to cut through it and figure out ways that you can get to a decision maker or get to the second decision maker as soon as possible so you can actually close. So there's either 3 reasons for an objection, or basically a smokescreen type of objection where they're just throwing up like a red flag or lying to you. It's either 1, they don't trust you and actually believe that you're good at what you do, or 2, they think it's a cool idea, but they don't believe it's going to have a clear return on their investment. And so if they pay you $1,000, they don't feel like they're going to make $3,000 in return. And so it might not even be worth hiring you on. Or 3, they're just being cheap and they're just scared to spend money, or they're very risk adverse people. So your goal isn't to say, oh, sure, yeah, just call me back and we'll talk about this next week. Yeah, no problem. You want to talk to your partner about this? You want to talk to your friend's cat's dog about this? Sure, I'll take your time. Call me back whenever you want. No, that's absolutely not what we do, because we realize that they're not going to call us back. And if you haven't realized that yet, with real life experience, you definitely will. And so what you have to actually do is be honest with them. Because if you don't be honest, you're going to end up chasing them down every single week for every single month of every single year until they eventually block your number or just tell you no, which will waste your time and energy as a salesperson and make you not spend time on people that actually matter, people that actually might say, yeah, that really need what you're offering. You're just chasing down, I guess, like a bad bunch that doesn't really ever want what you're offering. So just cut to the chase. Find out, okay, no problem at all. Think about it. That's a good thing. Talk to your partners about it. But when you say that you need to think about it, what exactly do you need to think about? Is it that you think that it's not worth the money? Do you think it's not really worth your time? Do you believe that it might not really even work for your business? You can be totally honest. Honestly, you can be totally honest with me. Say it in a way that's really genuine, and then just ask them what the problem is. If it's about pricing, you feel like it's about pricing, right? Tell them, is it the price? We can just be honest. Do you think the price is not really worth what I'm offering? Do you think it's not worth it? Do you really think this wouldn't work for your business? Or maybe it would work for somebody else, but it wouldn't work for you. Is that what you're worried about? Figure out why they're throwing up this red flag or this smoke screen and deal with it right there and then when you're in front of the person's face instead of chasing back up with them, which puts you in a really, really bad position. Being in there in person, just solve it while you can. So you can tell them, look, would it be worth trying this out today? So that I can get started and show you and prove to you that if you're not seeing more customers as a result by next month, I'll continue working for free until you do. So that's a plan B option, right? You could offer them that if they're really, really skeptical of you. And so what that basically tells them is, okay, I trusted you a little bit. Now I trust you a lot. Because if I don't get my money back, my $1,000, my $500, you're just going to keep on marketing until I get it back, which by the way, I'm like 99% sure if you use what I taught in this video, you're going to make the money in the first couple of weeks. So that's why it's easy to offer this, because you can show them, as long as you're tracking everything properly, hey, we got 15 phone calls for you in the past couple of weeks. That's worth something, and you're not going to have to basically work for free after that. But just make sure that you're actually tracking so that by the end of the month, you can show them, this is the marketing that we did. We texted all these people. We got this many responses. We got this many phone calls. And if you can track the sales in their booking software, we got you this many sales. And that made you about $4,000. It was good. Like, everything worked out really good. And therefore, let's say, okay, clear ROI. Let's keep this going every single month, but only do that when they're skeptical. It's also good because it's not a free trial, right? And so they're paying you right there and then. You just have to promise them that it's going to actually work by the end of the month, or you'll work for maybe an extra 15 days until it does, but you can still make profit on. If it's the pricing that they're worried about, it basically means that 1, you didn't do a great job at explaining the value, or 2, they didn't do a great job at listening, or 3, they're just being cheap, right? And so you kind of have to just figure out what's going on there. If they're just trying to cut corners and lower the price on you, no matter what it takes, stand firm in where you are, right? So if you feel like, I really might close this sale. He seems really interested. Looks like he really, really believes in me. He's about to pay right now, but he's like, you know what? Can you do it for a lower price? Never say yes. Never. If he's just about to pay you and then ask you that question, he's cool with the price. He's just asking to see what he can get out of, cutting a corner or asking you. And so don't say yeah. Just say like, look, honestly, that's the price that we work with. I'll just make sure that I do my best, and I'm not going to raise the price on you later on, but that's our pricing. Be firm. I say, okay, no problem. It is $50 more than I was thinking in my head. No issue at all. If maybe you didn't show the value and talk about it in their language, then you basically have to do that at that given point. You say, okay, well, let's figure out, what you think would be worth it. Does the marketing that we talked about actually feel like it would bring you in more customers? You know your clientele the best, obviously more than I do. So how do you feel about that working for your type of business? Ask questions and dive a little bit deeper. What it basically means is that they feel like you misdiagnosed them as a doctor, and they're afraid to take that medicine that you just prescribed them. Well, it's a pretty good analogy, but that's what's happening there. So you have to ask them, okay, so this is what I thought would work for you, but what do you think would work for you? And what do you feel like wouldn't work for you? And ask more questions about that so you can actually speak their language. And then start talking numbers with them. So don't talk about features, but talk about revenue. So if we did any of these things, that should be able to bring in a good amount of revenue for you, right? Then talk about something like that, but try to get back in the sale as best as you could. Usually it's a bad spot to be in, so try saving the sale as best as you can. And when they feel like the value just doesn't make any sense there, get them out of that frame of mind so that you can actually end up closing the deal. Now, sometimes clients even ask me, so, okay, I understand we can get a lot of good reviews, but if we're asking everyone for a review, how about if they leave a bad review for us? How about if we get a 1-star because we asked them? The reality of it is, I've been doing this for so long, I've never gotten a 1-star Google review from asking someone for it. If someone is, and this is how you explain it to them, if someone's motivated to leave a bad review, they're going to do it whether or not you ask them to leave that bad review. They're annoyed, they're bothered, their motivation and pressure to leave that review is high. They're going to do it the second they walk into that car. But if their pressure is low, if they had a good experience, even just a decent experience, and you ask them for a Google review, that increases their motivation to leave that Google review because you're a human being asking them. And so if you're able to get you 300 5-stars for every 1-star, it's super worth it, because that would rank you so much higher on Google, and that basically still keep you at 5 stars on Google. And so that's basically how it works. Or they can say, our booking software already does that. It asks everyone for a Google review. Why is yours different? you want to basically pre-handle this earlier on, because they're probably going to be thinking that. A lot of softwares do. It's true. They're being honest, but you have to show them why yours is different and why yours actually gets Google reviews. And so it's really easy to do that when you have testimonials and proof and case studies, when you can look up, this is your competitor that I work with in the city down over there. These are all the Google reviews that we got them. Ours works, trust me. If they just kept on using their software and you kept on using your software, you're going to keep on getting a 1 Google review per month, like it's like the current pace is going. But the way that we're doing it really works, and the proof is right in front of you. If you don't have any testimonials or proof, the way that I typically do it is I say, look, whenever you leave your dentist office or any other business and you get a text message saying, hi, thank you for your visit. We truly appreciate your honest feedback. If you could take a moment to leave us a Google review, our staff would greatly appreciate. I'm like, just ask them honestly, do you ever leave Google reviews whenever someone texts you that? Personally, I don't. Do you guys? They'll tell you no every single time. And you say, okay, so what we do that's a little bit different, that gets a lot more Google reviews, is we ask them sounding like we're the actual owner of the business or we're a staff at the business. And people never tell you no. Like if you were to pick up your phone right now and text that lady that just walked out of the business right now off your personal, she would guarantee to give you a Google review, right? It'd be weird if she didn't, right? They would agree with you. They say, okay, if we can do that for you at scale, it would really help you guys beat all of your competition on Google and get you ranked above them, which would get you more business and more sales and more traffic, more revenue, talking their language, right? And that's how you explain why yours is different and why yours works better, by doing it before they ask you. If they have to ask you why is yours different, you probably didn't explain it the best. A couple of bonus tips are, don't get technical before the sale is closed, and don't say anything that could confuse them or make them think about, actually, I don't know if we can change our phone number. I don't know if we can do this for our business. It requires A2P verification. I have to give you my EIN number. I'm not sure. Don't give them too many details before the payment is made. Only after the payment, keep it very simple, very, very simple. Let them focus on what you're offering and what's going on in the conversation. Only after the payment, you can talk to them and say something after, like, look, I'm going to get home and start working on this right now. I'm probably going to have to text you a bit for these next couple of days to ask for some more information, like your website logins and everything else, so I can actually get started for you. Is that going to be okay with you? They'll tell you yes every single time, obviously. Or they might even tell you something like, I might be busy, but call me whenever you want, or call the manager and she'll get you logged into anything that you need. Just make sure that they're primed to understand that you're going to ask questions in the next couple of days. And there you can start asking for whatever information you need from their business, or logins, or booking software logins, domain logins, all that good stuff. Now, I also try minimizing the amount of times that I text my clients. And so if I could just, instead of asking them, hey, what's your email? Hey, what's your phone number? Hey, what's their manager's name? Hey, instead of asking them 15 questions per day, if you can just Google that, or you can go to their Instagram page and find it out there by looking through a few videos, just do that. Don't annoy the person that just paid you money, right? Their idea is, I'm a business owner. I want less stress and more money. So I'm going to pay you to give me more money and less stress. Don't increase stuff on their plate. If you need to ask questions and you can't find it out online, then you would kind of just say, like, do all the digging that you possibly could. And then you can start doing stuff like putting 3 questions like, hey, Alex, I have a few questions just to get started. You can answer these anytime that you want. There's no rush, but once you get these answered, I'll start rolling right away. Question 1, question 2, question 3. Also, if you're too busy, you can just put me in a group chat with your manager. I don't want to bother you. Just let me know whatever you'd like. Be very humble about it, very authentic. Open the door to talking to a manager so that they don't ever get bothered by you. So this video had a lot of information, and if you really study and lock in and take your notes, you can practice this, you can study this, you can even talk to AI and go back and forth and just memorize your script and memorize exactly how to handle any of these objections. This will help you actually close a deal. So if you have to replay this video 5 or 6 times, it's totally normal. I used to practice a lot. I still actually do. And so it's okay to not get this on your first time. Keep on going back, keep on thinking every single outcome, and actually getting out there and doing this in real life will be a better teacher than basically anybody else could. So making progress in that sense is definitely a good go-to. So thank you for watching this video. The next video will talk about how to onboard fast and how to reduce churn when you actually get your client signed up so they pay you today and they pay you every month going forward. So now that you've landed your first client, the most important thing now is to not only deliver as fast as possible and show them why you're worth it as quick as you possibly can, but to show them that same exact thing every single month going forward in a way that doesn't burn you out, but is fully automated. And so in this video, I'll teach you the exact onboarding questions that you have to ask them, how to get them onboarded, and how to set up systems so that it keeps on working automatically by itself, Let's do this. So the first step is to actually get your client a sub account made inside of High Level. And so we're not going to give them access to it just yet, only after we fully set up everything and everything's all ready to go. But for now, we're going to just make it so we can do our work in there. So first you can go over to sub accounts on your agency view, press on create sub account, go through the process and make sure you also import the snapshot that we talked about or that I gave you over the link, and press on select and continue, and go through this full process. Either look up their name over here or press on add manually. And then once this is created, go over to the top left and log into this sub account. The first thing that I love to do just to get this out of the way as soon as humanly possible is to get them A2P brand verified. Not fully verified just yet, that will take some time. But first you go over to settings, and then we go over to phone system. And then we go to Trust Center. And so there's two steps to it. There's a brand verification, which says that, okay, you guys actually own this company. And then there's a campaign verification, which says, okay, you guys know how to be compliant with your text messages. Everything's good to go. People can opt in. Then you can send text messages. And so if you're not too sure what A2P is, basically, if you're in Canada or the USA, it's like basically a new restriction or a new law that we have to follow that makes sure that we're not spamming people and we're texting people that have properly opted in. You can learn a lot more about it online. But what I'd like to do quickly, just so that we're not being, I guess, bottlenecked by our client and their speed, is we try to make sure that we can brand verify as soon as possible. So you can just press on start registering now, or you can also fill in the information in the business profile by scrolling down over here and going to filling up this info right over here and filling up that information. So you basically need everything listed over here. So business type, industry, tax ID, so their like EIN number in the USA it's called, and then an authorized rep. So make sure that this is anybody at the business. Could be their employee, their manager, their co-founder, their owner, anyone that it's not going to bother and that can actually do this for you quickly. So choose whoever you like at the business that's responsive to do this portion of it, right? So this authorized representative are basically going to be doing the brand verification and getting them to send over, or at least to verify themselves for this brand verification. So phone system, Trust Center. Once all the information is already placed in the business profile section of it, you press on start registering now, and this will automatically be filled out for you, assuming you've already done it in the last portion that we just talked about. So I fill in some random information over here just so that we can move forward. You press on continue. This will automatically be filled out as well. So this is their business address. You can also find it online really easily. You press on continue again. And this is the authorized representative. So this person is going to have to verify their face and their ID with a secure link that will send them. There really isn't too much of a way around this at the moment, but it does help us get A2P verified a lot more consistently and a lot faster. So just find anybody at the business that would be down to do this. It's a super simple process. You basically put in their first name, last, email, and then put in their number. And then their position. So if they're a general counsel, their GM, any position here would work. So let's just choose a general manager of the company, press on continue. Low volume standard. So at this portion over here, it typically should ask to brand verify. And so you would press on continue, a link will pop up on Persona. By the way, I have a full A2P video that you can just copy and go over my exact setup to fully get approved. But it should ask you to brand verify. You'll just choose which country you're from, which driver's license is what I typically choose is for the identification paper. And then you just get a link that would pop up on your Persona, right? So you copy that link, send it via email or text message over to your client, wait for them to do it right there and then, keep your page open, and then it'll turn green, show a green check mark once they've completed and actually brand verified themselves. That's all we need from them. Once that's completed, we can take care of everything else. You can follow the A2P video that we have either in the cards above or in the description down below. Now that was the A2P side of things, but the next thing that we need from them is to integrate their Google business profile. And so it's better to have them do it so that your other businesses don't start to merge into each other and basically they can see or they can choose any other business that your account has access to. It's just cleaner when they log into their own Google account right over here. So what you could do is go over to My Staff. You can create their own login, which the button is right here, Add User. So you can make them their own login so that they can get logged in and then go over, teach them how to go over to integrations and connect or sign in with their Google account. Make sure that it's the Google account that is a manager or owner of their Google business profile. From there, they can choose the business profile and make sure that they accept all permissions, and then therefore it'll be able to automatically respond to Google reviews and it'll be integrated right into High Level. They also have the option to add their own Facebook and Instagram accounts so that you can start to get all your DMs, calls, and text messages all in one unified hub. It's up to them though, it's not too important. The next thing that we'll do is we'll place the Google review link right into their marketing and marketing tab, and then press on trigger links. And so this basically automatically fills it into whatever workflows we already have set up. We would just press on the trigger links, press on these three dots, edit, and then paste their Google review link right over here. And so what you could also do is either if you have access to their Google business profile, you can just press on copy review link, or if you don't, you can just act like you're leaving a Google review on their business and then just copy the link that shows up in the bar, and it should work. Make sure that that link does work before you actually paste it in over here. So paste the link right over here and then press on save. This will automatically make every single time the trigger link is used in your workflows their actual Google review link. Now we have to figure out how to actually bring the clients in from their booking system into high level. And so for the first time, what I typically do is I download their entire list of clients manually myself. And then I go over, by the way, to do that, you have to actually get logged in. And so you could ask them, can you export your client list? Or you can actually log into your software, better yet, and you can try to figure out, how to export it and familiarize yourself with it in case you ever have to log in to make any changes in the future, which you really might have to. Once you get that client list, however you end up doing it, you have to go over to contacts and then go over to import contacts and then just basically drag and drop them, press next, drag and drop into here, map all of the fields, and then save them as contacts. Now you can make your first campaign once, of course, you're A2P verified. You can make your first campaign there by texting them all for either a review or to come back to the business, whatever shows more benefit to that business. And so if they need Google reviews, you could take that route. Or if they need more business, like they want to make revenue ASAP, you also probably should take that route instead. To make the whole manual upload process a little bit easier, you have two options. One, you can just download and upload every single day. Two, you can look into Zapier, which is a site that basically allows you to connect software A with software B. So for instance, appointment completed on this booking software, then send all the information to high level over here. It's called Lead Connector on the Zapier app, by the way. And then you can just basically integrate two softwares, make sure that it works, and then it'll automatically integrate them and start texting them for either a review or for a recall, fully automated using the workflows that you choose. It's actually pretty simple to get set up. If that doesn't work, you can start hiring a VA online. And so you can have them either once a day or once per week log in and do this entire process for you, but you have to trust them. So put them under contract, make sure they are trustworthy. It's kind of hard to do because you don't want them leaking any of your clients' information. And so that's always a little bit of a risk. You could also hire somebody in real life that you know, like a friend or a buddy or something like that. But any way that you can get information from software A to software B, just make it happen. Then getting a phone number once you're A2P verified is also really important. So you press on add number, add phone number, then you can buy a number that what I like to do is just to choose a number that's really similar to their current number. So if their number is 313-444 or something else, type that in here, press on filter. First part, 313-444. Not sure if they would have this type of number here. They do. And so this is actually a pretty clean number, or that one too. So you just press on this and then press on buy number or proceed to buy. It's $1.15 per month. I usually pay for it. I don't upcharge my clients for this sort of thing. I just include it in the fee. And then you would buy that number and make sure that that number, like I showed you last time, is synced up to their real business line. And now that you have access to their business profile and possibly even their Instagram, you can make everywhere that has their old number show their new number and nothing will change on their end. Make sure that they know that nothing will change on their end. Calls will come through, everything will work, but now we can see it in the app. They can see it, they can text people, and they can respond to text messages all using the Lead Connector application. And so once they have their account set up, either for all their staff or for the business owner themselves, you go over to My Staff, make sure that once they have their accounts, you also text them the link to download Lead Connector either on the App Store or the Google Play Store. Now, just to be safe, I like to run these by them before we actually started. And so I go over to automation and I make sure that whatever we're saying in these text messages, they fully approve of so they don't get nervous or worried about it. It happens rarely where they're like, oh no, change this. I want it to be exactly this way. So make sure you just run it by them one time. Hey, just so you know, I'm going to send these text messages. These texts exactly as they're worded right now are the most effective for getting people to come back and getting Google reviews. However, if you want me to change them, I could, but these are typically what works the absolute best. Is that okay with you? They'll usually say yes. Sometimes they'll say no. One of my clients said no one time, and they actually started to get 90% less Google reviews, like actually 90%, probably a little bit more, until they want to go and change it back to the way that I had it set up for them. So keep it as close to this as you possibly can. Going into your automations, scrolling down to this text message right over here, show them, just copy and paste this text for them, and then just show them this is what I'm going to send. Cool by you. This is what works. If they're not happy with it, try saying, can we try it out for a week and see how everyone responds to it? Try to keep it like this. And while we're in the Google review workflow, I like to always ask them, if the person doesn't click on the link or respond to the text message, should we follow back up with them next week for the Google review? I like to do this personally because it's just more effective. Like, why not? Okay, maybe it might bother one person out of anybody, but if it gets them more Google reviews, it's more effective and it makes you even look better. And so I like to ask twice. Some business owners say, I'd rather just ask one time. I don't want to sound needy, and that's also okay too. If they don't want to send it twice, like I showed you last in the previous videos, you can just delete this text right over here and you should be good to go. Just make sure you press on save and also publish. The next question I ask is there a promo offer that we could text your past clients to incentivize them to actually come back to your business? Like, for instance, a 10% off for the next 5 days or something similar. They'll usually give you a pretty good offer to say, oh yeah, let's just try this out here. Try giving them maybe $15 off their next appointment or something similar. And then you would go ahead and change this text message where it's the reactivation campaign with whatever they wanted. So make sure it sounds good. There's no typos. Everything looks good. Even test it out on your own number by pressing test workflow, putting your number in there and test it out. Make sure it works and make sure that it's their exact offer. And so this is how we typically bring businesses more revenue within the first week of signing up once they get A2P approved, just by running everybody through a reactivation campaign. And what I also like to do is look up that business niche near me on Google or in the city name. So for instance, restaurant, Detroit, Michigan, and then screen record on your phone, press on show more, and start rolling, like screen record from the top and keep on going until you find their business. And then press on their business and make sure it shows how many Google reviews they currently have, what their page looks like, their photos. Just basically scroll around, make sure you have all video proof so that in a month or two, you can take another video similarly and showing them, hey, we actually got you guys from rank 7 on Google to rank 5 on Google in just 1 month. We also got you 45 Google reviews and look how good everything's working. Give them those updates little by little, and not too often, to actually show them like, okay, this is really working. Like, this is actually amazing and there's some proof behind it. So you can also use that not only for showing your clients why you're so good, but also showing everybody else on the internet. So you can post it on your Instagram, post it on any social media, showing how we got business A from looking like this on Google to looking like this and getting more business and more reviews. And it's always good for case studies. That's also a good way to reduce churn by just showing them value every single month. Make sure that they're happy, that it's a no-brainer for them to stay signed up with you. So kind of just like check in on their page or on their high-level account every, I guess, like week or so to make sure that everything's working good. Texts are going out, people are responding, they're getting reviews, and make sure that your client knows that everything is working. And so I call this more value every month. That's the method if you want to call it that. And basically, as long as your client knows or the business owner knows that I'm getting value, I'm paying him $500 a month or $1,000 a month, but I'm getting $1,000 in value, or I'm getting $2,000 in value based on how much he's actually doing for me, it's a no-brainer to actually stay signed up with you. And so make sure that it's optimized, everything's working good. And for instance, if the recall texts or the Google review texts aren't working as efficiently as they should be, try, going in there, making minor tweaks, seeing what's working and what's not working so that you're always being as effective as possible. It doesn't take much time, maybe like an hour a month, if anything, but make sure that you're doing whatever you could to make sure your client is happy and they don't want to cancel, whatever it takes. And let's say, for an example, your client isn't doing that good in their business. They're taking a vacation that's too long. Their staff is just acting wild and not really doing a good job. And so they're not really seeing a big impact from your marketing because they're just maybe not doing the greatest job. This happens sometimes. And that still might make your client want to think about canceling. And so what I typically do is to just provide free value before that thought even comes in their head. So keep on monitoring their page, make sure that everything is going good. And if it's not, give them free value for no reason before they even have to ask for it, right? And so either optimize their website, make any changes. What I like to do is go to their Google business profile page, add in all the services that are optimized, just ask AI or GPT. So add in services for their business to make sure that it's fully optimized, add in service descriptions, go to their Instagram page or Facebook page, you grab images from there of their business or even videos, and then post it on the Google business profile page and just make everything look nicer and prettier, and then let them know in one text message what you did, and that's all. Say, hey, hope everything's going good. I just noticed that you guys didn't have this thing optimized on your page. I took care of it for you. Hope you're having a great week. That's all. If they have any bad Google reviews, for instance, go in there, try taking them down one by one, and try to see if you can make any progress in any possible way. What I also like to do to really reduce churn is to drip out the marketing slowly over time. And so if you realize that they're getting a lot of bookings and your marketing is working like a beast on the first month, slow it down a little bit, because that might mean that on month 2, they're not going to see the same results, right? You can only ever text their current client list one time until maybe like next month or in a couple months, right? But you can't text them every single day. And so if they're seeing a big result on the first month or the first couple of weeks, then you can lower the drip setting that we have in the workflows to be a little bit lower. So you can drop it down from 50 per day to maybe like 20 per day. And this way they'll still see good results. It'll still be worth paying you $500 a month, but this way, it'll make it more sense for them to keep on paying you not only this month, but every single month going forward. So you're slowing down the benefits over a longer period of time, if that makes sense. And with all of that said, I basically just taught you everything that you need to know to go out there, get your first sale, deliver, and then reduce your churn so they never want to cancel. And you can just do this over and over and over again. Later down the line, when you start to actually scale, you can hire a VA online for like $5 an hour to do basically all of this stuff for you. And you basically do very minimal, if any, management at all. You can just focus on outreach every single day going forward. Or if you're really busy in life, you don't have time for all of that, you can just get a few clients, manage it yourself, and then just make the extra recurring revenue. And so that's basically everything I've learned in this past year of building a marketing company and scaling it to how I did so that you can do it for yourself too. If you want to actually get started with this, you can sign up to High Level in the link in the description down below. It does support me, it supports the channel. And with that, I'll give you a lot of benefits like workflows, custom Discord group chats, calls with the whole team, and we can all talk about growing. So thank you for watching this. I'm happy that you stayed till the end of this entire video series. I'm really, really happy for you. Go out there and get it. It's not going to be easy. Okay. It sounds easy. I laid it all out for you right there on paper. Take your notes, but it's not going to be easy actually putting your shoes on, getting in your car and walking into a business. And so you have to really, really take this motivation from yourself, not from me. And you have to actually go out there and do it. Either making your first call, DM, text, walk in, whatever it is. You got this. Let's go. I'm honestly rooting for you. Thank you for watching this video. Stay dreaming, stay lucid. I'm out. Peace.